Oh, thank God I hadn't started already.
No,
Evidence of my stupidity should only be evident here from now on, rather than previously.
I'm going to record your shit-talking a load of real weird stuff about Richmond Park. So, reminders from last session. Yuhnbric wants to hawk his services as a mechanic at the Whiterun Market, / make money somehow. It doesn't say brackets desperate, but it's kind of implicit. The Khajiit are owed a quest hand-in from the nearly nude Nord. I forget what the exact quest was.
Isn't he the
30 coins per hide.
What was it? 30 coins per hide?
Yep.
If he sells you hides?
If he buys.
I see.
I reckon just 1 second.
JoMo wants to buy an alchemy set. JoMo wants his rope back from Ra'virr. Erik the Slayer the Witness is with the party. Ra'virr was about to get accepted / rejected by the Stormcloaks. And Ulfric may want help to leave Whiterun, whilst Arnulf was taking Erik shopping for a weapon. Okay, well, in the interests of dramatic tension, I feel like obviously we should do Arnulf first. Or even, you know what, oh god, okay, Team Khajiit. As well as Dio, your resident Thumbs, who's back, because Catclop is currently slorped.
He's dragged himself out of the woods.
Popped back into
Is late or not turning up?
He's not turning up.
Bleary-eyed.
Yeah, makes him not Thumbs, because young Nicholas doesn't have any.
Oh yeah, he dragged himself sans thumbs.
Because she
Sorry, I
she
stand
probably now has
corrected.
a dearth of thumbs.
He becomes
He has
Thumless.
No, yeah, we don't have Thumbs then. We have the horse that just has young Nicholas's face.
Oh yeah, I remember the fucked up
Thumbs' brother.
It is in every way an ordinary horse, apart from having young Nicholas's face.
Oh yeah.
Terrifying image.
In addition to its regular horse face. So the young Nicholas face is about where the horse's nose would be.
Is it like a first film Harry Potter Voldemort situation?
No.
Oh.
No, so if you imagine
more
like
Silence of the Lambs.
if you imagine a regular horse, but instead of the nose, that's young Nicholas's face. Complete with functioning mouth.
thing made it into Whiterun without being murdered as some kind of foul demon / obvious spawn of the devil. Or Dremora or whatever.
What's this, the devil you're speaking of? The devil.
Fine, some kind of strange fucking servant of... What's... Callan, evil one. Morag... Foul?
Yes.
Yes, Morag Foul.
Morag Foul.
They're called with death portals.
Sorry, what?
I still just can't get over the fact that the night sky is not the night sky, but it has to be Skyrim, and it's just like, nah, that's what hell looks like when you're looking at it from the mortal plane with your old mortal eyes. And those aren't stars. Nah, they're portals to other dimensions.
Well, really just the one.
Yeah, close
dimension.
enough.
It's mostly Aetherius they go to.
I mean, my point stands. It just... I can see the designers, the story designers, just being as like, we don't...
Kotaku. Okay, so Kotaku has a really, really good rundown of the history of making Morrowind, which is where a huge amount of the lore was kind of cemented.
Oh, the article's great.
It's so good, and like mostly what it consists of, because it's like 15 years later, but with most of the key players, and they've gone through their various controversies, and their careers are either so big they don't care, or... Ah, fair.
Good shout.
Do read that article, though.
I'm looking at now.
Well, don't read it now, but do read it in general. Cool, so... Arnulf, you were taking Erik the Slayer the Witness down the market.
Because I did loads of stuff yesterday. Last time. Do Ra'virr.
Well, no, we got to save up for a Ra'virr. So,
Then do Team Khajiit
Team
more.
Khajiit. What are we doing? We left you down near War Maidens, I believe. It's a Fabs!
Hi.
Hi, Fabs. You're being recorded for the record.
Oh, that's okay.
Cool.
Hey, Fabs.
We missed you, Fabs. We had a little talk about it at the start.
We did miss you.
We did. We were like, it's not the same without Fabs' signature little hello and rabbit ears.
The Khajiit plans primarily revolve around Carl, and he just be our beads, so... Back to you, Benji.
Okay.
I'd get out of it.
3 times, damn it!
Back to Arnold.
I'm trying to be decent about
Well, in
it.
that case, I guess it's time for Eric's solo mission. No, alright, okay, so, reluctantly...
Ewan talked to himself for 20 minutes.
Reluctantly, and because I've been forced to do this, hopping over to Ra'virr. Now, Ra'virr, do you remember exactly where we left off?
He was sort of slowly and dramatically in sort of, I don't know, movie exposition-esque, telling me whether I was going to be a Stormcloak or not.
Okay. Let's get ready. I've been steeling myself for this all week, and by that I mean I've been complaining to co-workers all week about West Country Ulfric Stormcloak.
Country is he? I thought you were doing the accent.
Sorry?
I thought you were doing the accent he's got.
Yeah, I'm trying to do his, like, I'm Ulfric Stormcloak, and everything I say is like you, but slightly bassier. But he's also supposed to... He's a Nord, so he's supposed to be West Country. It's just difficult to do at the same time as being bassy, because I can't be bassy.
Yeah, you came across as static in a tummy. A little bit. But in a good way.
No, it's fine, it's okay. I'm not great at voices, so I'm comfortable with them not necessarily being good.
No, that's the only one that's but it was great. 10 out of 10 for effort, that's what I'm trying to say.
I'll kill you. Okay, so Ulfric Stormcloak in that lonely attic looks you right in the eye, Ra'virr. I will allow you to join the Stormcloaks. If... He takes a dramatic sip from his slightly petrol-tasting margarita. If you successfully smuggle me out of the city and back to Windhelm.
Why did you go Schwarzenegger there?
Get to the
To
door.
reiterate, I'm real bad. Get to the Windhelm! No, if you can successfully smuggle me out of the city and back to Windhelm. Windhelm. Let me just correct the map. No, please do carry on.
Well, that's like a really long way, but yeah, I could do that. I'll be a Stormcloak.
Excellent. Do Skyrim proud, my child.
So, I take it you've got loads of other allies around the city, just waiting to help us all out. We've got whole armies waiting to besiege Whiterun.
He shakes
Get it on.
Shakes his head. Since fleeing from Helgen, I have been trapped here. The Imperials watch my every move, waiting for me to leave the city.
Wait, but how did you get into Whiterun, Mr. Stormcloak?
Rode here as fast as I could, scaled the walls, stole over to my supporter's house.
That seems like it would have been easier to go to Windhelm directly. I hope you don't mind me asking.
He looks at you for a moment. A fair point. There were Imperials on my heels, and the pass is east and narrow, and controlled by the Empire. It's going to be work getting through as is.
Okay, well, I guess that makes some sort of sense. So, yeah, I can do that. I can get you out. We might have to have a think about disguising you. Maybe you've got quite a distinctive face and voice as well. You might need to work on that. But
It's a perfectly normal Windhelm accent.
I don't disagree, but you know, it's I don't expect Whiterun people see many of the Windhelm folk. these days, especially. Yeah. So I'm actually here with a few of my friends. So we could probably help you out and get you to Windhelm. There's
Sorry, Corona.
it is the Rona.
But you've been drinking your margaritas again.
No, it's both.
There's just one little minor thing that you might probably want to be made aware of.
He crooks an eyebrow at you.
So we might have to go traveling with some Khajiits. Are you okay with sharing the journey with a Khajiit on your travels?
He nods his head. If they are true sons and daughters of Skyrim, then I have no problem.
Yeah, about that.
Well, I mean, I am. I certainly am, don't get me wrong. But there's these other ones that are...
I'm sure your family is lovely.
Well, no, I wouldn't...
He didn't deny it. He thinks with family it's canon.
Yeah.
That's
Don't
why
wanna
you're in
go
Skyrim.
against
You've come
Mr.
looking for it.
Stormcloak. Anyway, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Should I go and get them, or do you want to stay here, or do you want to come with me now?
He shakes his head. It's best if I stay here until we have a concrete plan to leave. Make the arrangements, then come back and let me know.
Okay, yeah, a concrete plan sounds like the best idea. Kind of sort of stamp my little toes a little bit, kind of still my quaking tail. So what's it like being the best ever?
He shakes his head. I'm a humble son of Skyrim. I have failed many times in this life. I only hope to mitigate some of that now. Damn you, Rona.
That's the dreamiest thing I've ever heard. I won't fail you, Mr. Stormcloak.
He nods. You may call me Ulfric Stormcloak.
Oh.
Watching Ollie die on cam is really doing wonders for me.
I mean, it's really getting me going, if you know what I'm saying.
I hope the mic is picking up my little gasps.
It is 100%.
That's good. I was trying to sell it there.
It's
That's
the
good.
gasps that are doing it for me. It's just that. Oh, it's like disappointment.
You're are strangely thirsty for the gasps.
I don't know why you're saying y'all. It's just Ollie.
No, Carl as well.
Oh, right.
I'm just, continuing the play from last week.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Hey, he said in big inverted quotation marks.
I won't fail you, Mr. Ulfric Stormcloak. I'll be back soon. I kind of...
Remember, stay discreet.
I thought you were going to say stay frosty then.
Remember, stay frosty.
I mean, we're anything if not discreet, right, guys?
And then Ulfric does, surfer hands.
This meeting couldn't have gone any better.
What's surfer hands?
If you
They're
can't,
like
see,
jazz
if
hands.
you can't see me on webcam, Carl, I rely on Ollie to make an animated GIF.
I've only got Ollie.
Are those surfer hands? I don't think I've ever seen anyone do that before.
I got it.
Let me reconnect, see if I can...
I'm there.
Oh, I got you now. Could you do me a quick... Ah, yeah.
Excellent.
There you go, Carl's from Florida, so that's our official, it counts. Florida, California, that whole connection there.
I mean, my family does... A lot of my family now lives in Florida, but that's because they're old.
Well, that's where people
Just
go
the
to
natural
die,
progression.
Yeah. You live, you're born, you move to Florida, you die. America.
Pretty much, in a nutshell.
I've seen Seinfeld. So, what are you off to do, Ra'virr? You need a plan to smuggle Ulfric Stormcloak back to Windhelm.
Oh, I have the buddings of a plan that he probably won't like.
Every single one of your plans starts with that line.
But Ulfric Stormcloak might not like it.
Well, cool. What are you doing then?
Wonderful. So, I mean, we have a troop of Khajiits. Unfortunately, I think we might have to... I mean, we could lean into the whole Khajiit angle, but we might have to disguise Ulfric as one of them.
Is he furry?
They have to explain to Ulfric why you're not with the rest of them.
Okay, so you...
That little look of despair there.
So you're gonna go off and pitch to the... Because you realise the Khajiit are going to charge you for that, right?
Probably.
This is
But
not
it's
cheap.
It's the best idea I can come up with at the moment. Is a disguise. Alternatively,
Oh, wait, sorry.
Alternatively, we make Arnulf the decoy.
I was going to suggest we make Erik the decoy.
Alternatively, we make Erik the decoy.
Erik the decoy, the witness, the slayer.
That is
The
amazing.
Stormcloak.
You probably shouldn't tell him he's called the Decoy.
The Jarl.
We're not going to tell him that.
Otherwise he'll open like every goddamn conversation.
That would be amazing.
Hello, I'm Erik the decoy, the witness, the slayer.
I suppose we could combine these ideas and have decoy, but also cat Stormcloak.
You know,
No, just put decoy as
so-
the last one.
I've actually just had a look, and from a distance, and I hate to say this, from a distance, Erik the Slayer does actually bear a passing resemblance to Ulfric Stormcloak. It wouldn't pass up to anyone who knows them, or anyone who saw him up close, but he could serve as like a remote body double, yes.
You see? It's the perfect plan. Right, okay, so we've got a plan here, but I just need to go and tell the group.
See, I thought you were just going to have him go and lamp the fucking Jarl.
Can I try and get rich before I die, trying, I suppose?
Which party did we leave you with, Yuhnbric?
I think I'm actually by myself.
Yeah, I think you are.
Uh-oh.
We can do you next. We didn't do much of you last time.
Yeah? Cool.
Okay, well, Ra'virr's got, shit to do. He's off to try and figure out where the party is and buy whatever it is Khajiits wear, and then try and get his High King back to Windhelm, and Eastmarch, more generally. Yuhnbric, we left you in the Cloud District somewhere, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, he was just being told about someone doing all the odd jobs.
What?
Yeah.
Do?
Well, I'm gonna walk down to the largest market in the town. I don't know where that is or what it's called.
It's down
I'm
in
sure
the Plains District. It doesn't really have an official name, but you can go down there without issue.
Cool. I'm gonna go down there. And do you know what? No. The inn or the pub we came to the first time I came here, and the lady whose well I fixed.
Yes. I will have the name for you just shortly. The Bannered Mare, Hulda.
Cool. I'm gonna go there, and I would like to talk to the lady.
Yeah, it's not a super difficult trek for yourself. And as you enter, Hulda sort of stares at you, confused. Right here, is that I believe you introduced yourself to her. Is that Yuhnbric over there? Yuhnbric the Dunmer? How are you doing,
Yeah.
my love? You took off without getting any of your stay.
Adventuring has its own timetable, own timetable, and people dragging you off to places.
You
Anyway,
might have said that I had to feed your food to the dog.
I'm so sorry. How's the world treating you?
Well, alright. It's not been that long, if I'm honest with you. You've been gone,
Well-
3-4 days? I thought you were on a bender.
Feels like a lifetime. Feels like a lifetime. I was wondering, would you mind if I proleticised myself a little bit in here, espousing my technical acumen?
Sorry, just for clarification, do you mean proselytized?
Oh, yeah.
She sort of blinks at you. I don't know what proselytized means. I'm not much of a fan. Sorry?
Can I shout about how good I am with making stuff in your pub?
Yeah, I'm sorry, my love, but I don't really want people advertising themselves in here. It sends the wrong message. I don't. It impacts negatively on the image of my establishment. In these modern times, it's more important than ever to have a decent brand.
She thinks you're hooking.
I explain that no, I'm talking about making things. Not about, not about selling my body, but instead my skills.
No, she nods. Oh, I wasn't thinking that before, my love, but if I'm honest, I'm kind of thinking that now. It's a very, I don't mean to judge, everyone's got to make a living, but that's a very suspiciously specific denial, You were talking about advertising before, and now you're talking about selling your body, and, Look, this is a family establishment.
I put my hands up. It's alright. Looks like this has gone, you know what? Probably shouldn't say that as it's a family establishment. I thank her for her time. I say, well, just, if anyone asks, pass on the word of my skills. You don't have to, I'm not expecting anything, but it'd be a nice form of repayment.
No, if anyone comes in here asking about if they need their well fixed, I'll be sure to mention Yuhnbric the Dunmer.
And that is how you advertise, boys.
Hero of Elgin.
Cool, I guess I walk over to the market then.
What is that noise?
On the way, try and find any sort of scraps of metal or leather or something.
I don't know if there's going to be usable scraps just left around the place.
Maybe not.
The Plains district isn't super huge, so you're not going to have. Jesus, that's a bad picture in the Discord. Yo, what is up? Surf is up. Jesus. Where we at? Yeah, the Plains District market is expansive and lively, and despite the fact that I think it might even be a weekend day at this point, people are around and about, moving about in the early afternoon sun, having a good time. The air is clear, the wind is blowing the smell of shit away from town, and the stalls are stocked with fresh goods.
Cool. I'm going to set up sort of, I guess, next to a stall, like maybe one of the ends. I assume you need some sort of permit here. I'm going to ignore that. And just kind of set up next to one of the ends of the lines of stalls, if that's how they're arranged. Or something which looks like it has a free space. And just start saying I can fix anything.
Just yelling at passers-by.
Huh?
You've been there for a couple of minutes when the stallkeeper sort of turns to you angrily, and just kind of... Here, mate, shove off. You're clearly not registered, you've got no stall, and I'm not having you messing with my customers. I'm trying to sell this fruit, and you're pissing about telling them you can fix their love lives. No one knows what the fuck you're talking about, mate.
Love lives? What? Okay, I turn to him. Do you have anything that needs mending? Is anything of yours broken currently?
I tell you what, mate, your fist is going to need mending when I punch it with my fate. Wait, no. Your face is going to need fisting when I... Wait, no.
Crazy.
Your men... No.
I love
Okay,
this guy.
focus, Ewan. Your face is going to need mending when I punch it with my fist.
That was a convoluted way, but... Okay. Okay, I can mend that as well. That's how good I am. Are you sure you don't have anything that needs fixing?
Sort of blinks at you, confused. Shove off.
I just start walking from stall to stall, asking if anyone needs anything fixing. I'm terrible at this.
Yeah, you know what? I think we're going to give you a pity roll.
I mean,
I
can't work out if I'd make a great homeless person or a terrible homeless person, because a lot of what Yuhnbric is doing is what I would do in real life.
sure you don't become a great homeless person by going around offering to fix people's sheds.
Exactly, so I'm probably not going to become that good at homeless person.
I will take persuade over persuasion at a very piteous difficulty 0. Which, as you are untrained, I believe is a net -10.
So, standard persuasion, what does that roll off?
Persuasion rolls off personality.
Okay. Cool, so that is a 17 or under. Holy shit, I make it.
Damn.
One degree of success.
Sorry, I'm just going to repair my internet real quick because it's giving me weird robot results. Also, Callum...
Oh, I've got a spell for that, only 10 coins.
Scree. Also, Callum, we can hear, like, kitchen shit happening in the background.
Tell Meg to be quiet.
No, it's alright, just mute yourself. Like, unless you're speaking. Cool, so that is actually a bit of a fierce competition erupts as Yuhnbric, with a degree of success even, does manage to find someone who's willing to take his engineering tasks and pay him a little bit for them. Meanwhile, what's your level of repair, JoMo?
I believe it is 3. Let me just scroll down a little further. It's indeed 3.
Maybe just take a speedy look and see what repair actually does.
And honestly, I think it's specifically for equipment that's been damaged.
Yeah, looks like it. In fact, it's even armor, shield, or weapon, so it's not even all equipment, I'm afraid. Oh, so that's how exotic weaponry is still going, even when there's nothing to repair it with. The repair spell is literally the only thing.
Yeah. If you've got anything exotic and can't be repaired by normal means, such as engineering, bring it to me!
You know what, I really shouldn't be telling people I can repair shit. I should be telling people I can improve shit. That's what I'm going to continue. That's what I'm going to do from now.
And I'll take an engineering skill test as well, please, Ollie. Just call it a +0.
Cool. Engineering. There isn't an engineering role.
It's your profession, isn't it?
It is. My profession is. Sorry. Yes. Okay. So that's journeyman. So that's +10. +15.
Who actually knows the rules? Creed.
Journeyman is
+20.
+20.
+20. Nice. Okay, so that means my intelligence +20. 71 under. Yeah, I made that with 52. Yes, I made that with 3 degrees of success.
Cool. You may add 30 gold septims to your wallet. As you are able to persuade a number of people to allow you to perform petty fixes and structural improvements on their stalls and pieces of simple merchandise. Generally, sadly, you're a victim of many classic post-apocalypse scenarios whereby you have a very useful specialist skill set, but the infrastructure requiring your specialist skill set is simply not mostly extant, rendering your skill set not useless, but less useful than it might be in a more advanced society.
Fucking troglodytes, a lot of them.
I think there's troglodytes in Tess. I want to say it's the western bit. High Rock.
Do they even have indoor plumbing?
I don't think they do.
What, troglodytes or have indoor plumbing?
Troglodytes. I'm sure the Dwemer have indoor plumbing.
It's the best indoor plumbing. It's all rocket powered.
We get full-on robot automata and not have indoor plumbing.
I mean, it could
we can conquer the world with a wave of clanky, creaky death.
They just shit in their hands and make it disappear with the earth bones.
They shit on the floor and make it disappear with their magic, aka why J.K. Rowling should just shut the fuck up and stop writing Harry Potter.
I mean, that has long since ceased to be the least aggravating and or dumb thing she said. That said, the Dwemer also did not conquer the world in any way, shape, or form.
No, just because they could have, doesn't mean they did.
I mean, arguably they couldn't even have. Like, when they were rocking around, the Psijics were still in full swing, and they're basically, what if the Mages Guild was a TARDIS? / Doctor Who.
True that.
It's kind of great.
I mean, I'd like Doctor Who.
I guess in that case, I've done all the improvements I can. I might try and find like one of the bigger guilds and just be like, is there anything... I really don't know how to advertise myself in this case.
Yeah, that's very fair. I don't think Whiterun has great market for your services, and also I don't think it tragically really has much in the way of guilds. It doesn't have a Thieves Guild, that's on the way out. It doesn't have a Fighters Guild, the Companions fills that niche, and the Mages Guild doesn't have a huge presence in Skyrim. You are adrift and guildless. The things that might actually help you, Skyrim being its backwards, strangely racist arse, simply doesn't have, insisting on using local institutions which are totally ill-suited for dealing with damn near anything.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Well, this is why the Nords can't have nice things.
Maybe I should just try and invent the concept of indoor plumbing and blow everyone's tiny minds.
Are you a plumber?
No, but I've worked on rocket engines, and that's essentially advanced plumbing.
No.
Toilets tend not to explode.
I give you more leeway here, but I've had enough of your shit trying to invent high fives. I'm just not...
I mean, you wouldn't have any of this shit if you had indoor plumbing.
I'll kill you, Carl. I'll shave your beard off and choke you to death with the resultant fluff.
I've honestly been considering it, with masks pissing me off.
Actually, that does sound quite horrible for you. So, Team Khajiit, what are you doing? I believe JoMo was wandering around the market.
Oh, wow. That was more of a jokey bit there, because I believe we were waiting for the non-main character barbarian dude to come back to that particular inn to pay us.
He could take a while. Also, you didn't proposition him in an inn, you propositioned him in the street outside Warmhavens.
Yeah, but we told him we would be waiting in the inn.
You also do have a strange feeling that he will find you almost unerringly, no matter where you may be.
I like those feelings. Almost like someone's watching you.
Ain't no one watching you. You're not on webcam.
That's what you think.
Didn't you have other stuff you think about selling as well?
Yes, I would like to go to, I want to say the wizard dude that got lamped. I can't remember his name.
Farengar's Secret Fire.
But yeah, either that or some other generic merchant to offload some of the stuff I got for merchant roleplay, but desperately need coin.
There's there's quite a number of merchants in the Plains District, so it's not super difficult to find. What do you need to sell?
Well, funny you should mention. I've got a spyglass, an hourglass, a common soul gem that is filled. I think there was something else that I was considering shifting as well. Oh yeah, no, I wasn't shifting. I just wanted to get my rope back.
Carl, do you mind if I drink one or all of our mana potions?
Oh yeah, it was a holy symbol of Talos as well.
Just upend the mana potions into the cat.
Yeah, I mean, if we've got like a little cat bowl, then I can put one down.
I don't think you do unless it's in your inventory, which means you have to just kind of like wait for him to hold his mouth open and chug that shit in.
Just put it down sideways and I'll lap it up.
Oh, go on, down it, Fresher.
Hold me by the neck and pour it in.
That man's drowning that cat. Oh dear. Cool, so first up was a spyglass, right? Oh, Jesus.
Haha.
Did not realise the value of that. Are you sure you want to sell the spyglass?
Well, it'd be very useful to keep, but, like, I mean, I'll save it till the last if I don't get enough.
Okay. What was next on the list?
An hourglass.
Hourglass. Bit more modest at 250G. Cool. God, do we have special rules for how commerce works in this? Is it a skill? Probably.
There is a commerce skill.
Mm-hmm.
You never had to deal with the Oblivion character wheel. Conversation wheel.
I love that wheel.
Oh, that wheel was the devil.
I love the stupid faces everyone makes when you speak.
Oh yeah, that bit was great. It's just the floppy
look the
potato
same.
faces.
I went from Oblivion to... not Oblivion, sorry. I went from Morrowind straight to Skyrim. I mostly skipped over Oblivion.
You really do need to go and play Oblivion.
Yeah, I just saw it got an Enderall style free total conversion mod on Steam, so I need to give it a go.
Wait, just?
Oh, well, I thought that was new.
Is this Nerim?
Think so.
That came out like a decade ago. That's pre-Enderall. It's the same team.
Oh, cool. Well,
Like,
I've heard
it's-
good things then. Mostly from you.
Yeah,
Although,
play Enderall.
side note, I was describing to someone earlier today that Tyranny's magic system is basically the sequel to Morrowind's magic system, and I've suddenly realised why I like Tyranny quite so much.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's a CRPG, Callum, you wouldn't like it. But it's also Morrowind's magic system with a New Game Plus mode, specifically tailored for the magic system. So get fucked if you're anything apart from a mage, but if you're a mage...
Yeah. Oh, beautiful.
It is
Quadratic Wizards.
kind of lovely. It's quadratic wizards, but with looping timelines. I love it so much. It's the worst thing. Yeah, sorry, I was reading the market rules as we were going. Cool. Carl, I'm going to be very fair/simple here and suggest that you maybe have a reasonable idea of the value of most of these things, and that haggling is somewhat optional. You can attempt it if you'd like to go for better prices, but it's not mandatory. What's your feeling?
I'll accept that.
Okay.
Like, if we're talking base price or starting off at reduced outright.
You know what? Probably we'll call it base price and maybe a commerce test to see if it raises. No, yeah, fuck it. Just base price in the interest of simplicity and time.
Yeah, I'll go for base price.
Okay, so the hourglass then will sell for $250.
Sweet.
What was next on the list?
I have... Okay, this is going to be a question, but the whole religion thing in Talos, how like... I can't remember where he's outlawed.
Everywhere.
Okay, cool, so that's a black market thing, so let's not shift that in the open market.
You couldn't sell an Icon of Talos in Whiterun openly, even though they do still have Heimskar, I think. But you could sell it in, like, Windhelm, for instance, because even though the worship of Talos is outlawed, Windhelm and Eastmarch generally are... technically, they're not in open revolt at the moment because they still think Ulfric's dead, but as soon as they get Ulfric back, they'll be like, oh, hey, yeah, cool, fuck the Empire, fuck everyone, Talos, you're the boy.
We're in a state of give a fuck.
Yeah. They're hovering in front of the state of give a fuck at the moment, but they're looking to cross over.
I'll hold on to that for the moment, just in case. Maybe we can give it to Stormcloak just to be like, yo, bro. But I would otherwise like to sell a common filled soldier.
Oh, Christ. Arcane items. The price of filled soul gems can be determined with the following formula. Filled soul gem price equals gem price times 2. With the most obnoxious use of white space. I can only assume that was meant to be really complex at some point, and they've then taken it down, because... And I'm glad they have, but that's a bit obnoxious. Well, reluctantly then, a common soul gem is worth $250, and filled it is worth $500. Which means that a black soul gem goes for $10k. If filled.
Whoa.
Nice.
Shame I ain't got any of those.
Is it? They're super illegal and immoral.
I stand by what I said.
Soul gem's fairly immoral.
No, regular soul gems are, by the standards of the setting, if not our own world, considered to be perfectly fine and dandy. If it has a white soul, you can cram it into whatever.
I'm equal opportunities soul torture.
I don't know to what extent soul gems outside of Azura's Star actually contain your sapient soul. I think it's a bit of a servitor situation.
Oh, okay then. Oh, fuck.
Which is why people don't go, oh no, I put a deer into this soul gem. I'm basically torturing Bambi to power my weapons.
Not torturing Bambi. You've imprisoned Bambi's soul for all eternity.
No, not all eternity. He only has a limited amount of juice. He'll get used up.
That's...
I mean, yes and no. Eternity is a long time to be imprisoned. That said, getting slowly burnt alive from your very essence, or using your very essence as fuel, is also pretty grim. What was next on your list, Carl?
That will do for now, thank you kindly.
If you have spare money, can you buy me some good mana pots?
Oh yeah, you like we had 3 level 1s if you wanted to drink.
Yeah, I'll drink all of those if I can. If we can get some levels 2s or 3s for the road.
Thirsty for the mana. Alright, do you want me to look up how much potions are then, Carl?
I want potions. Level 2 is 20 coins a pop. Level 3 is 35 coins a pop.
That's okay. Like, with the sale, I should have 750, and then it's 500 for an alchemy set. So that's 250 left over.
Cool.
So, what? Let's go with 2 3s and 2 2s.
Sure.
Around 100.
2 3s and 2 2s, that wouldn't be around 100, that'd be 70 plus 40.
Oh, was it 35? I thought it was 30. I misheard.
Fine.
35, yeah.
Okay.
How dare you have poor hearing, Carl? I'd never do that.
Okay then. I'll still go for the same count, but then just adjust the price.
Sure. Thank you, sir.
Scoochie. And with that, I shall return to the inn.
Cool, yeah, you will have seen Yuhnbric going about hawking his wares. And actually, on that subject, Arnulf, I believe you were also drifting around the market. In fact, all of you are drifting around the market at this point, technically. Even Ra'virr has wandered up at this point in search of his comrades.
We're just awkwardly avoiding each other while Ra'virr looks for us.
It is, to be fair, a fairly busy market, so it's not super difficult to avoid each other. But if you're looking for each other, then you definitely will have run into each other. You just may not have caught up. But Arnulf, you wanted to buy Erik a weapon.
But getting him a weapon, not necessarily buy one for him, because I don't know how much they cost and I haven't got much money.
Well, good luck with that then. Here, have this rock.
You find Arnulf in front of a weapons stand, eyeing up a huge ebony polearm. I feel this weapon calling to me. With this, I would be invincible. Arnulf seems to stare
A bad head cold.
blankly. Sorry, you cut out for me.
Apparently I've developed quite a bad head cold.
I don't know, have you?
According to that voice I had.
No, that was Erik.
Oh, right, okay.
He's got a bit gruffer since we last left him.
Just a bit, yeah.
Wasn't he like 18?
Yeah, suddenly grizzled veteran who spent the last 10 years gargling rocks.
His character has varied massively every session. In the first session, he just wanted to be an adventurer. Last session, he was ludicrously dim. So this session, you got gargled veteran Erik, who is also 18.
Is he still ludicrously dim?
Well, that has yet to be seen, but we rolled the random wheel of personality, and you didn't spin traitor yet, so that's something.
Eric, me boy. You don't want something like that straight off the bat. How much weapon training have you had in your years as a publican?
Well, I served 20 years in the Emperor's forces.
No, you didn't. That was your da.
No, I'm pretty sure I did that.
Right? When did you serve these years? Because I've only done 10 years in the Imperial Legion myself.
And so the discussion goes on for some time, with Arnulf trying to convince Erik that he did not, in fact, spend 20 years in the Imperial Legion, and Erik adamant that he, at 18 years of age, did, and that he served in the Battle of the Red Ring, and personally kicked Elf in the face. Full stop.
Is he missing a decimal point?
Missing a decimal
point.
He's missing a point.
I'm sorry, what?
I asked if he was missing a point, if he was missing like a decimal point, and then I corrected myself to, is he just missing the point? And then Benji said the same thing at the same time.
I'm disappointed.
Right, Erik. Right, in any case, I think you should start small. Maybe some kind of wooden staff. It's good for travelling, and it's good for hitting people with.
We could perhaps compromise in the middle. Call it maybe a lance?
I'll agree if you can call it a lance. I just don't think you should have a pointy bit on the end of it till you learn how to use it.
Excellent. We'll put a we'll put a fantasy equivalent to rubber ball foam on
Cloth?
I'll put the practice ball on the end of it for you, shall I?
Yeah, we'll put the big... Oh, corkwood. We'll put a cork ball on the end of it. Alright, now if you'd be so kind as to buy me this lance, and that there cork ball...
Right, I'm just going to try and buy him a staff then. I haven't got the prices open in front. Carl, you just had the prices open.
A quarterstaff is 35. He wants a lance.
He can want a lance all he wants. I'm going to say this is a lance. With a point so fine, the eye can't see it.
The salesman is being rather unhelpfully like, no, this is a quarterstaff, sir. The lances are over here, he says, gesturing at very clear lances. Erik looks at you, betrayed, confused.
Give me a minute. Have I met up with Team Khajiit at this point?
No, they've been wandering around the market. You can see that they're nearby, but they seem to be avoiding you for some reason. And also, like, the last time you saw them, JoMo had Zanzarim by the neck and was just upending a potion into his gullet.
I have no idea what's going on there. Right. Oi! Khajiiti boys! Me travelling companions! And that weird horse you've got.
And I'm just going to start looking around like, oh, he could mean someone else. Yeah, totally. Not us. No!
I'm just looking you dead in the eye, but not just doing anything.
Here, come over here. I'm trying to get some supplies for young Erik.
You need to, like, stretch out your finger and do the little, like...
Yes, would you by chance be attempting to get new boots?
I imagine this man does either sell or know someone who sells boots.
Wow.
So,
We can certainly sell you boots, sir, replies the shopkeeper from behind. Erik nods his head repeatedly. Here, I'm rather partial to a good... I'm rather partial to a good pair of boots.
all I need, Messer Zanzarim, and I can't remember what your name is. I want to say it was Catclot, but I know it's not.
No, that's Dio.
Oh,
Dio.
JoMo Hasser, that was your name.
You've got JoMo, Zanzarim, and Dio the horse. Oh wait, no, did we call it Nicholas the horse?
I don't remember.
Ah well, votes in Discord. Carry on, Benji.
Right, all I need is some coins so I can get this young lad a lance. She is very insistent upon, despite my offer of a quarterstaff.
Does he intend to run at the enemies?
But that, or he could ride old Dio there into them.
Eyes wide, like, would want to ride this.
Who knows? They get up to all sorts in the country.
Dio quietly sort of munches on some grass he's pulled from betwixt the cobblestones, horrifying local passers-by who give you a hugely wide berth that makes you virtually impossible to pickpocket.
Just got the image of the horse mouth and the Nick face mouth, both like munching on like the tufted grass.
Tongue passes it up.
Oh god!
But like not very well,
Right.
so it's crusting around the nostrils.
Sorry, how much is a lance?
A lance is 140.
Right, I need 100 coins or so, if you could oblige.
You just asking because you for 100 coins.
Well, if we go at the standards of borrowings, then that is...
Pretty low.
I would like to pull out my abacus and start pretend like I'm doing some kind of maths for interest.
What level of interest do you want to give him here?
We'll
Wait,
call
sorry.
it-
Speedy check. Callum, do you have any idea what the usury laws are like in Elder Scrolls?
Are you allowed to loan people money?
I think, yeah.
Assumably.
Yeah, I think so. I think there might actually be a couple of minor side quests in Skyrim about it. Yes, there are, because there are debt collectors.
Yeah, fair. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, well, usury is all down, so you can charge whatever interest is feasible, Carl.
Let's just call it 10% overall.
Per week.
That's fine. And I'll try...
If we're doing it per week, then I'll do it per week.
Right, look. Whatever, I'll help you out to pay off the extras. We'll get this sorted, alright?
Sorry, I'm just making a note of the 10% interest per week on Khajiit loan.
Yes, because, quite frankly, I wouldn't want to inconvenience you in any way with the collection of such debt, especially not with those nice boots you're wearing.
Erik nods. Here, do you think it's worth taking out a bigger loan if it'll let us buy nice boots?
I'd like to poke him in the ribs.
Ow.
I just like the idea that Eric's actually going to end up with a lance out. Just be walking around town with a fucking lance.
That plays into the plan.
Yeah.
That was a plan?
Yeah, the plan that we had to get Ulfric Stormcloak out of the city.
Oh, yeah.
One you don't actually know about
You're not
yet.
actually aware of that yet. It is
No,
at
out
this
of character.
point that very strategically Ra'virr arrives. Looking alarmingly chuffed. No, Yuhnbric is off in the distance, like fixing up the leaky roof of something.
Oh.
And eating pot noodle from the looks of his webcam.
My friend! And cats.
It's actually a spicy Mexican soup, but I'm using uncooked fajitas as napkins, edible napkins.
Nice.
Veer?
That sounds-
What's up?
Yeah.
Quite nice, but also grim. Erik gives you a cheery wave, Ra'virr. Hello there, my lover. Hello there. Well, we're doing this now. Hello
It's
there,
alright.
my lover.
It's alright, Erik. You don't need to do it round us. We know
What's-
you can't talk like that.
What's
I'm
wrong with
alright.
him? What happened to him?
As Erik just vigorously punches himself in the throat.
He's come to the big city and he's gotten himself all ideas about what a hero should sound like.
I'm gonna be a lancer.
Well,
Aye, what he said.
well,
Right.
well. Funny that you mention actually, but I do know what a hero sounds like. I've just met one.
I see.
Now,
What, here?
well, yeah. Now, don't go telling anyone, but I think, I think that we've just come into some luck. You'll never guess who I've just met, who I've just come across.
I got a pretty good idea given your excitement, but I think perhaps we should wait for this conversation to be away from the stall holders. This fine businessman here is merely waiting for me to pay him for this lance that young Erik wants.
Yes, but do tell, who have you met, good sir?
Oh, he's a huge fan of the travelling circus, and I'm presuming he's run into one of their heralds who say they're coming.
Well,
yeah.
Okay. Well, could be worse. Could have been Ulfric Stormcloak.
My eyes
What a
light up.
wanker.
Aye, indeed. What a wanker, indeed.
Busies
But yes.
himself under the stall. Thoroughly
JoMo,
mortified.
if you wouldn't be a good old mate and pay the man for the thing, we'll go in for today and find Ra'virr's news about this travelling circus.
I'm just going to begrudgingly count out each individual coin.
That'll be 140 septims. Meads, I guess, technically.
I like the fact that some of those coins are mine, so some of them are Dwemer coins.
No,
Oh, no,
he
I was
sold a
separated
load of
them.
money earlier, yeah.
Hmm.
That'll be
What did it
140 meads, please.
You can see my head go between Joe's hands and Veggie's for each coin pass.
Yep. Oh wait, were you borrowing the full amount or?
Borrowing the full amount.
Oh,
he wasn't in the initial negotiations, but he's aggressively negotiating for a pretty decent loan here from the Bank of Khajiit. This is how the Venetians got started.
There's varying ways I'll be able to pay this off, I feel, so it should be fine.
Nah.
You ever fucked a cat, Benji?
I was thinking more giving Zanzarim large rides on my
Back?
on my backpack.
Large rides, eh?
I've been getting those for free so far.
Yeah, but I'm going to start
Take a
charging.
markup.
Essential services.
So yeah,
Cool.
I'll get the lance, and I'll also go get myself an alchemy kit, like off in the background, if you will.
That's fair. How much is the alchemy kit?
500.
Oh, Jesus. Cool, yeah, if you'd like to deduct a net of 640 coins from your inventory then. Is anyone keeping track of Erik at all?
No, he's
not
kind of just
particularly, no.
walking
He's just
into
sort
a
of
post,
there.
I imagine.
He's just swinging his lance around.
If I keep walking fast enough, then eventually the post will give.
He's
Wow.
busy clipping through the floor.
Like, that lance price, like, including everything else, wiped me out for everything I sold.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I'm like pleasantly bewildered that Erik successfully got a free lance.
Well, it's not going to be free. He's going to be
Of course.
paying for it with his life.
He didn't really do anything except say, "No, I don't want a stick," and then you bought him a really expensive weapon. It's literally like 3.5 times the price. You know what? Never mind. So, Erik is joyously swinging his lance around.
Crazy.
What do God damn it, Carl? What do Ra'virr?
Yeah, maybe we should go somewhere else. I have such news.
Much wow.
Much wow.
Erik is
Having
vigorously.
seen the group in the distance, I guess I'll start walking over to them. Probably the last time I'll see them all together. If I don't walk over to them
Maybe we can go back to that old, that helpful Mr. Greymane's house, or maybe the inn. Just somewhere I could squeal inside four
Right.
walls.
I think the inn should be all right, so long as we're discreet about your love for the travelling circus.
Yeah, Erik, furiously is just beating on a cobblestone with his lance.
Erik, me lad, don't do that. You'll blunt the end.
I thought you said you wanted a blunt end.
Aye, but the right kind of blunt end. Just right. Erik, me lad. How about I carry that for you, and you can stand there looking all heroic and imposing on your own, because you don't need no weapon to look that
Erik-
impressive, do you, me lad?
Erik clutches his lance fiercely and eyes you narrowly. You sort of spend a little whiles unsuccessfully attempting to get it off of him, but he seems thoroughly attached to the lance, which he's
Right.
named Old Uncle Ursus after his teacher of many years.
Right, Erik, that's
and
fine.
I believe you're... Sorry, just trying to be mindful of Ollie's feedback from last time. And I believe you're wanting to head off to the inn.
I want to. Yuhnbric privately thinks as he sees Erik doing the scraping, "You're a blunt end." And then continues walking with the group.
Okay. So, you meet back up with Yuhnbric. Or, well, Yuhnbric meets up with you, and then you immediately begin bogging off to the inn. I suppose vaguely wishing that you'd gone before Yuhnbric had seen you, but, c'est la vie. The Khajiit catch up with you along the way, having purchased an intricate array of pots, mortars, and pestles. The bannered mare is much as you'd left it, and as before, everyone's eyes roll over white whilst someone remembers what their names are. Hulda inside waves you in heartily. Oh, I lost everyone on roll 20.
Oh, there we go. We're back
Cool.
somehow.
I don't have any cams, so I'm just going to speedily reconnect. Oh, cool. I'll be back. Cool, yeah. Hulda gives you a hearty welcome as you step through the door. Hello there, my lovers. Room for the night, will it be? Or can I just get you a mead?
For the night, love, if possible.
Bugger, now I've got to look up the bloody cost of room and board again. Why do I not know this?
I'm going to accept her offer of a mead.
Well, she's saying if you'd like to purchase a mead.
Yeah, well, I'm going to... Actually, I want to purchase her strongest drink.
I think that's probably a bottle of fine wine. That's like 100G, mate.
I'll take her least expensive strongest drink.
That'll be a common pitcher of wine, which is 2G.
Yeah, I'll take... I'm fine with 2G.
Sorry, that's just such a beautiful little moment. And I choose to believe that happened in character as well. Cool, spend 2G and you may add a bottle of fine wine to, well, not necessarily your inventory, I suppose. Depends how quickly you intend to drink it.
I'm taking the bottle and I'm going to start drinking.
Well, it's a pitcher, but carry on.
I mean, tomato, potato pitcher.
She, you know what? As you get to the bar and purchase a pitcher, Hulda sort of looks at you. Well, now I do feel sorry that you all left before you could use your allotted time last time, but you know what? I'm still feeling fairly generous, and you've all been such lovely and model customers previously, and I do hope to retain your business. If you'd like, you can sleep in the sty with the pigs, but I won't charge you.
I think I'll pay for room and board. Cheers.
Yeah, that sounds better to me.
Yeah, alright. Well, you know, some people. No helping them. What level of quality do you all want?
Basic, please.
Likewise.
Poor or modest?
Poor is fine.
You can buy modest if you like, but it's 6G versus 3.
I'll take 3G, thank you. Because I've got to pay for Erik, don't I?
Well, I mean, you can stick Erik in the pigsty if you like.
We're keeping the equipment in the room just in case it gets fucking nagged.
Obviously.
I'll take 6G because Ra'virr's feeling pretty good about himself. He's about to become a very successful Stormcloak.
Okay.
Is there anything against sharing a room?
Let me have a look.
I could top and tail with Yuhnbric.
I'm down with that.
She charges per bed rather than.
Yeah, I think we're in a common room, aren't we?
But top and tail with a Khajiit is an interesting prospect.
Indeed.
Scree. It's actually not a common room. Well, you are in a common room at the moment, but it's not bunk beds. Even the poor rooms are individual cells. They're just like smellier and worse. For the Bannered Mare, at least. Cool, so I believe then that's minus 6G for Ra'virr as he purchases himself nice accommodations for the night, and it's not going to reduce the price, but you can purchase nice accommodations for yourself as well if you want, JoMo, and be in the same room as Ra'virr. And then I guess that gives you some security if you're attacked. And she's not going to charge you for the house cat either. Especially as I think she still thinks it is a cat.
Man, we've just gone through the entire campaign all as house cats. No one would charge us a thing. Little gang of cats walking into town.
I was slightly terrified we were going to have the all Alfiq party during Charge-In.
That would have been hilarious.
I think the peak Alfiqs you all talked about was 3 people wanting to be Alfiqs at the same time at one point, but thankfully.
Alfiq.
We'll be like herding cats.
I'll kill you. I'll kill you both. I'll kill you and dump your bodies inside each other's bodies.
Really going for that top and tail.
Oh my god.
Pace.
Rage. Cool.
Yeah, I'll pay for the room as well. You know what? Actually, I've had Ra'virr has purchased room and board for me before. I'll purchase the room for him.
Aww.
Do you have any coins? Do you have any coins?
Yeah. 28 gold septums.
Cool.
Oh, is that all you have to your name?
Yeah. I mean, I also have 121 Dwemer coins, but those are worth a lot more.
Well, there you go.
Okay, that'll be 12 septims for room for yourself and Ra'virr.
Oh, no, we're doing the
I thought
four.
you said it was per bed.
I did, yeah. And
Yeah, we're doing
6
4.
We're top and tailing.
Yeah, no, because Ra'virr wants to sleep in the modest rooms, Ollie.
Oh, okay, well, 6 coins then.
And she's not going to let you sleep 2 people to a bed. Not unless you're good 8 divines couples. This ain't no house of
Ill repute.
No, what's his
the
name?
fuck?
House of...
This is no house of fuck.
No, this is not a house of fuck.
Well, I don't want to stay here then.
I was thinking of... God, what's his name? I keep wanting to say Sanguinius.
Where is the house of fuck?
Sanguine. This ain't no house of sanguine.
Oh, slams fist on table. This is no house of fuck.
Alright, sorry, in my best West country, this ain't no house of fuck.
I'm sorry, Callum. I can't afford 12.
I'll tell you.
Now get out.
I'll tell you what. We'll split it. We'll do 6 each.
So just paying for each.
I'll be generous, and I'll let you pay for yourself.
Well, in that case, my dear boy, I'm going for a pool room.
He says, and oh god, Hulda just sort of quietly, I did offer to let you all sleep in the sty for free if you're this poor. All right, fine, cool. So that's going to be -6 for Ra'virr, -3 for Yuhnbric, -6 for JoMo / Sansarim,
Well,
young Nicholas the horse. Sorry?
She also had a 10. I don't know if we had any money left after the lending and
I also don't think that you're allowed to like just pitch tents within the city walls. The guards will.
We'll just pop out.
And definitely not just inside the bannered mare. She's going to charge you for that.
We just pop outside the gate. But
Can I go for the cheap room?
Which one? Paul?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can, absolutely. So you can share a room then with Yuhnbric. And Arnulf, you were going to also buy a poor room, right?
I spent 6 for me and Erik.
Cool, so the two of you are also in poor rooms, leaving Ra'virr in the only, like, modestly comfortable room that has no trace of poo on the walls.
Ah, yes.
I'll sneak into his room and sleep in that one.
Meanwhile, out in the stables, young Nicholas the horse, munching away with both his mouths.
It's a small mouth, tiny nose every so often.
Let's just not even think about it. Let's
It
just not
does,
even think
it does, but it says the word nay. I'm going to pay Sophie to draw it.
No.
I'm going to start a GoFundMe for it. So, what did you all want to do with your evening? You've paid for lodgings, basically, and I'll even say that Hulda is generous enough that she'll throw in some basic food, so your meals are taken care of for the evening.
Cool, I'm going to get pissed.
Well, you want one pitcher of wine.
Yes.
I'll probably do.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to neck the pitcher and see what happens.
Yep.
Alright, cool. You successfully get really fucking drunk just before Ra'virr's big secret meeting.
Right, Ra'virr. What is it that you think is so important? And I can guess, given your general bounciness.
He says,
But
from within Ra'virr's room, which has all of you assembled and gathered in it, including Erik, the windows just gently open, or the shutters for the window just gently open, rather, as I suppose they have no glass, and young Nicholas the horse's head quietly poking through as it chews.
I'm sat cross-legged on the bed like a teenage girl.
I'm, the only reason I'm standing is I'm presumably wedged between two people.
Yeah, it's not that big a room, but you can sit down as long as you like keep your knees tucked in a bit.
I'm asleep on the pillow.
right,
Fucking cats. Yeah, Ra'virr. What do?
2 words. Ulfric Stormcloak is here.
right, okay. Where?
So, I went and took the prisoner back to the house of Mr. Greymane, and he took me upstairs, and he got me introduced to Mr. Ulfric Stormcloak, and he's just the dreamiest, the truest Nord to have ever lived. I mean, his voice, his Windhelm accent.
Erik strokes his non-existent beard gently.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but is he not the one who murdered the king?
Okay, seriously, have you caught an allergy or something when you came to the city?
I don't know.
This is the voice of a warrior. warrior.
I think he has heard the tales of Man-Bat. I'm there to get it out of your system.
I believe, Erik, me lad, that there's some dispute over that. As far as I'm aware, it was an honourable duel.
It was an honourable duel. Don't hear anyone tell you otherwise.
Also, I am a student of history, and quite frankly, it's not exactly unprecedented. Even if the stories are true that he used the voice, it's not exactly unprecedented or forbidden.
Are we allowed to just murder people?
No, Erik, me lad.
Well, if you're Ulfric Stormcloak, then yes.
No.
But also,
disregard that. We'll talk about it later, Erik. Right. Ulfric Stormcloak is in the city.
So, yeah, we really need to get him out here and back to Windhelm. Because they don't make us Stormcloaks!
Right, okay.
Well, he'll make me a Stormcloak.
How much can we sell these cloaks for?
Probably a fair bit, actually. They're decent quality cloaks.
Depends where you are in the country, probably.
No, like, anywhere you go, they're still bad, but it's like...
you just turn them inside out.
I mean, arguably, yeah, if they've got a red trim, that would potentially work. But yeah, they're good quality cloaks. Sorry, super minor point, carry on.
So, yeah, we really need to get him out of the city. Now, I've come up with a plan that I think might just work, but we're all going to need to work together, and unfortunately that means the cats. So, we're going to get him into a disguise, and we're going to make a distraction. Erik?
Erik quietly scratches the underside of his chin with the lance he still clutches tight.
Yes.
You ever had any acting experience at all?
I was Talos in the Nativity play.
Oh, okay, that'll do. Not really a play that I've ever heard of. Of this way.
That well-known Talos Nativity, Babby.
Uncle Ursus put it on.
It was put on by Uncle Ursus, yes. I mean,
yes, old Uncle Ursus put it on every year.
A voice. I know that voice from somewhere. That exact act.
He said I was the best Stormcrow he'd ever seen.
Some really rubbish game voice, and I know it from somewhere.
It's the Cookie Monster to me.
It's Dr. Claw.
Yes!
Oh, yeah. Inspector Gadget.
Oh, yeah.
Inspector Erik.
The Slayer!
So, yeah, I think we're going to need to get a distraction together, Erik. And I feel like of the group of us, you seem to be the closest match that we have to Ulfric. And I'm going to be honest here. I think that it's a dangerous gig, but I think you could really pull it off. I think that you've got the chops for it.
Erik nods vigorously, near impaling himself on the pointy bit of his lance.
I'm skilled in many subtle arts.
Name one art.
Acting.
Name another.
Drawing.
See the party going, that's on us, we set the bar too low.
You leave Erik alone. He's doing well.
He's holding his own. Anyway, I think this could really work. He's got the hair for it. He's, we could maybe get him some sort of cloak.
Yeah, as you all squint, it does occur that looking at Erik from a distance, say anything over 40 meters, he does bear a passing resemblance at least to Ulfric Stormcloak. It wouldn't hold up the second someone got closer to him, but in the right outfit, and Ulfric, by definition, with his storm cloak, does have a fairly distinctive navy blue aesthetic, he could actually pass pretty well. Sorry, carry on.
Excellent, right. So, second part of the plan. Now, I really hate to say this, and it goes against every fibre of my being as a true Nord, but we might need some help from the cats.
I'll wake up.
Meow.
So I feel like the last place anyone would look for Ulfric Stormcloak is in and amongst a group of travelling Khajiit. So my thoughts on it are we could style him as a Khajiit, and you know, he can do his best impression. I know it'll be hard for him, but he can do his best impression of a filthy jungle lover.
And
or stand
like
lover.
to turn and look right at Ra'virr. Just because we lives in the jungle doesn't mean we lives in the dirty places.
Right. I've got an addendum to that plan, Ra'virr. Obviously, if we're making it look like that Erik is in fact Ulfric, what if we took the horse and went one way, and I used... Well, put it like this. I don't really know of anyone else in Skyrim other than the blessed Greybeards who can actually use the voice other than me and Ulfric. So, what if I went with Erik, and I used the voice to convince everyone that he was in fact Ulfric, whilst you guys slipped out? Because that'll get every garb within, well, Whiterun.
I think you'll all find that my voice is actually pretty good.
Your voice is...
I can sing a number of songs.
It's completely different from what it was a minute ago.
I mean, I can sing a number of songs,
says Erik, remembering to put his correct masculine warrior voice back on.
I'm sure you can, Erik, me lad. Right.
Well,
how long do you reckon we need to implement the plan, then?
Oh, I think we could get started straight away. We just need to... You know, Ulfric seems to be relatively on board with the plan, all things considered.
In the interest of fairness, I'm going to say that, Ra'virr, you may remember here that you are leaving out some slightly key pieces of information that Ulfric did mention, I believe. Namely, the Imperial forces spying on Whiterun and guarding various passes out of it, or into different holds, rather.
Oh yeah, that's fine. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
No, that's totally fair.
Right.
Just Arnulf has volunteered to go with team absolutely going to get captured and killed.
Yeah. I mean, Ulfric Stormcloak, though.
I would also suggest
so
that if he does mention this to us, we know of at least one area which the Imperial Legion is not covering.
That is true.
Mostly because we took spies who were their captains.
Also true, but then that's kind of one area that we do have to get through the rest of Skyrim to get to Windhelm.
If you'd like to go south to Falkreath, the single strongest Imperial stronghold in Skyrim outside of Solitude, then sure.
Keep going down. We just have to get out of the inner circle, then move around.
There is a pass between Falkreath and the Rift, but it's not super easy to traverse.
And presumably is full of bloody Imperials.
Less Imperials and more Trolls. Like, put it this way, that is where you had your excavation previously, and you hired a bodyguard specifically to work on your even your fairly low-risk ruin that you were working in. Like, you can absolutely get through that bit, which I'm not sure what the actual name for the mountains would be, because it's like just north of the Gerald Mountains. But it's like due southeast of Helgen in the mountains between Helgen and the Rift. And it's not suicidally dangerous. People can and do traverse it, but it's not the route you would prefer to take under most circumstances.
Yeah, I don't think we've really got much warm clothing, so we could
Well, actually, you do. If you may remember, the Khajiits are currently sitting on a metric fuck ton of furs that they stole from Old Uncle Ursus' house.
Oh yeah, excellent. Okay, so we could maybe travel up through, looking up at the map, we could travel up through the Pale and then head eastwards to Windhelm. Otherwise, it's going through Eastmarch, which is also doable. Yeah, I like this plan. I think we can work with this. We can have.
Yeah, just so we're clear, you've not actually mentioned to Arnulf the thing about the Imperial war parties yet. So far, he just thinks it's like a travel undercover scenario and have a decoy Ulfric just in case.
Yeah, so Arnulf, there might be one or two Imperials along the way. Do you think you can handle that?
I mean, presumably we'll be meeting up outside the city anyway, mate.
Probably. We could try and meet up maybe somewhere north.
Wait, sorry, just for clarity. So your plan here so far is to have a decoy Ulfric meant to look like Ulfric, but then also have the real Ulfric in a party that will meet up with the decoy Ulfric, thereby not actually distracting people from Ulfric.
The distraction is supposed to get out of Whiterun.
He could lose the tail, and yeah, he can distract them away, lose the tail, and then meet up later.
Okay.
But yeah, this sounds like a great plan. What if we do this? Oh, I don't know, maybe tomorrow morning, first crack of dawn.
We'd want to do this at night, because otherwise people will see that we're not Ulfric Stormcloak.
Yeah, but you need to be visible. You need to be visible enough that it happens. Tell you what.
Also, night eye potions are a thing, so night makes a bit less of a difference than it might do under other circumstances. Like, if you know that you're being observed, then there is a decent chance that anyone prepared to observe you has some way of seeing at night.
Also, I don't think you have night eye potions, so you and Erik might be a little bit screwed. The Khajiit are going to be completely fine either way.
It's very true. They actually all can see at night regardless. It's a very good point. Logically means that, like, almost any Imperial scouting party worth its salt should really be including a Khajiit, because you just have total vision at night, and that's so ridiculously useful. But, you know,
You would think so.
Small arms tactics in Tamriel are not the best.
Yeah, so, I mean, we could, yeah, maybe...
Wait, so what does Team Khajiit think of this plan?
Team Khajiit?
Team Khajiit, anyone? Are they all asleep?
Was muted.
God damn it, they're all asleep!
Sorry, Horse John Nicholas has been here the whole time and is just kind of gently chewing away.
At the wall.
Yeah, he's kind of working on the windowsill at this point. Sorry, you said you were muted, Carl.
Well, ultimately, I've generally been trying to figure out how the hell to create potions, because, like, this is just retarded.
Strong words. I will have a look whilst you're discussing with people.
But yeah, give me a quick rundown on the plan again.
Off to one part of Whiterun, Erik being the fairly good physical match for Ulfric, and me having the voice, so therefore I can fill in for the whole obvious aspect of Ulfric. While he's disguised as a Khajiit, and you guys sneak out the other side of Whiterun. Then we all meet up outside of Whiterun and find a way to cross the mountains to Eastmarch.
Yeah, I suppose it's viable, but I really don't want to get caught.
No, I don't think any of us want to get caught.
Is there a risk you're going to have to take?
Depends
But not me.
on where you think those Imperial scout parties are, really.
Like, I don't see what we really gain out of
Raymane,
this.
or what's his face, to if he's got any info on them.
He didn't give Ra'virr anything on the way out.
Yeah, I'm kind of empty-handed here.
You know they're out there, and in fact, you have killed one. But that's about it.
We can probably take them between two tongues and a very effective punch cat.
Depends on the nature of the parties, really.
Yeah, this is also going completely the opposite direction to the car as well.
Well, we
Gotta
have
get
a
the car
grand
from
plan.
Solitude.
Yeah, we have a grand plan there. If you remember, we're at stage 3/4 of getting into the Stormcloaks, so that we can convince them to invade Solitude, so we can get our cart back, or at least to help us.
Sorry. There we go. Sorry, my Chrome scratch.
Dun dun dun.
So yeah, cats. We need a way of disguising Ulfric as one of you.
I'm
Not
not
me.
going to shave myself.
Oh, I don't mean shave yourselves. I wouldn't really want Ulfric to do that. I don't think he'd really go for it. I was thinking more we could maybe draw something on, or we could cut some of his hair and stick it back to his face.
Just face palming, right?
Please, yes.
Give him some fake whiskers.
Fine, just fine.
We could sort of sew together some paw gloves.
Ironically, it would be very convenient if you could just have him ride in a cart.
It would. Really would.
Just cover it with a load of hides and say we're merchants.
I mean,
Oh yeah, we could fashion one of the hides.
you could. Well, you don't have any hides yet.
I thought we had a mound of them, or the cats did.
No, those were furs, not hides.
Oh, sorry, yeah, furs. We can fashion one of the furs, even better.
It
We
was
could-
currently owed to definitely not the Dragonborn.
Dragonborn are extinct and have been for many, many years.
Yeah, so maybe if we can get one of those furs and repurpose it, then yeah, we got a cat cloak going.
I mean, there is one major difference between your average Khajiit and Ulfric Stormcloak. In the, well, tail actually, so 2. But also, Ulfric doesn't have backwards jointed knees.
Neither do a lot of Khajiit.
These, what's it called? Sutherata, the common ones, right?
I don't know which ones are the common ones. They seem to go back and forth.
The average Skyrim guard noticed that.
Well, this is the thing. The average Skyrim guard's only used to the one type of Khajiit. Most people...
I mean, our troop is anything but the one type of Khajiit.
Sorry?
So our troop is anything but the one type of Khajiit.
Yeah.
So I think we can get away with another weirdo.
Only if they don't know what well-known politician Ulfric Stormcloak looks like. That said, fail faster at all. The only thing I will say in summary is that if you really want a cart that badly for transportation, you can rent them.
Can we not put a mask over his face?
Yeah, exactly. We can make this happen. We can get the fur and sort of cut it up a little bit,
Okay, so
stick some pieces onto his face.
in that case, we'll do a little time skip here, and we'll say that you're now all in the attic, in front of in Vignar Greymane's attic. Was it Vignar Greymane was the politically wild one, or is that sorry, Eorland Greymane's attic? Having ironed out and sorted the final details of your plan, at least everything that can be done in town. So you're in front of Ulfric. He's met you all. And okay, explain to me what you need of me. And now, in 2 minutes or less, give me the final version of your plan, please. And we'll just assume that you found anything you needed to for it to have worked, and deduct a monetary cost if appropriate.
Excellent. So,
Within reason.
Mr. Ulfric Stormcloak. So these cats here are going to be going to help you to disguise yourself as one of them. I know that it's not the ideal plan, and we shouldn't really be associating ourselves with them, but we'll get them to disguise you as one of them, and we're going to lead ourselves out, pretend that we are Khajiit, the two of us, alongside these other Khajiit. Separately, and we're gonna go north. Separately, we're going to have these two Nords here. They're going to head out east, and they're going to make a bit of a ruckus, and they're going to pretend to be you. This one here looks kind of like you, and this one here sounds kind of like you. So together, they're kind of like a Stormcloak, and they're going to attract the attention of the guards. They're going to try and lose their tail, and figuratively speaking, and then they're going to meet back up with us, and then we're going to head over to Windhelm. How's that sound?
I'm not happy about the bit where I have to dress as a Khajiit.
Yeah, well, I mean, neither am I. No one really wants to be a Khajiit, let's be honest here. But, you know, think of it as a disguising yourself as the enemy kind of situation. Learning a bit more about who you might... I won't want to use the word exterminate, but
think of it like this, mate. Think of it like this, mate. Who would guess that the great Ulfric Stormcloak would ever demean himself by dressing up as a Khajiit? Wouldn't happen, right?
You raise a worrying good point.
Gonna slowly start making my way to the door.
You're actually in Yerlan Greymane's dingy attic.
Well, I mean, then hatch, or whatever you want to call it.
It was a hatch last time. No offense, friend Khajiit.
Was to see how none of that was offensive.
He shrugs. No offense intended.
I fails to see how that makes a difference.
He sort of picks at his teeth. It doesn't, really. And then just turns back to Ra'virr.
Yeah, Erik, how about you'll be well compensated for any offence caused?
I was going to say, Mr. Stormcloak is a wealthy man. He could probably set you up with some degree of riches.
We need every coin we have for the rebellion, but I will see to it that you get your just rewards.
That sounds like a loaded reward.
That is just the East March accent.
Really, it sounds like you're just trying to stiff me.
Honestly, everything we say sounds vaguely sinister.
Significant pause.
It's just the structure of our pauses.
Ah, the School of Shatner.
Weird thoughts that we don't know about.
My ancestor, William Shatner Stormcloak. What's the Nordic equivalent to William?
Wilhelm?
Yeah, Wilhelm.
Yeah, my ancestor. Yeah, because that's why it's Wilhelm, the city, after his ancestor, Wilhelm Shatnerquist Stormcloak.
When did you change it on the map to Wilhelm?
When I called it Wilhelm by accident earlier.
Oh, right.
So, yeah. Jesus. No, not even his ancestor, his father. So he's Ulfric Wilhelmsson Stormcloak. And his father was a big fan of Khajiits, but also Bretons, something Shat. Yeah, there we go. That's canon now. It all makes sense. Is someone drawing the goddamn Wheatley space orb next?
If we've got time while I'm setting that up, I'd like a quick word with you, Ulfric, the old son, if I might.
Sorry, I don't know what the fuck's happening on the map there.
Andalus.
He nods. Certainly.
Here, I heard you trained to be a greybeard. And thus, pretty much the only person outside of that hallowed order who can use the voice. The way of the mountain.
Literally, the only person.
Well, you say that.
To my eternal shame that I flunked out of High Hrothgar.
I was wondering, I've got here in my rucksack that I brought with me something I found many years ago when I was a lad, and I puzzled it for years to understand and visualise the word because I couldn't speak the damn thing. But it turned out that this has given me somewhat, shall we say, unusual magical powers that I can call upon. I was wondering if you've ever heard of anyone who learnt the voice, well, by sort of accident.
He shakes his head. What you speak of is to be Dragonborn.
I'm fairly sure I'm not Dragonborn.
I, too. You are not Dragonborn, friend. Being loud does not make one storm-voiced.
No, but as my travelling companion can attest, I can shout.
He shakes his head. No, you cannot.
I'll take. Well, when we get you back to Windhelm, I'll take the time to demonstrate it because I'd like some instruction if I can. Obviously, I can't exactly go up to High Hrothgar, turn up, and go, "Here, I might be a storm voice."
He laughs. So, firstly, I'll bet you 1,000 septims that you can't shout. Secondly, for the record, yes, you
God, didn't you not just say that every coin must be spent on the rebellion effort? And here you are making a bet you shall lose.
We allow for rampant gambling.
It is the Nord way.
Skyrim belongs to the Nords, and the first thing I shall do as High King is to legalize gambling.
What was your second point there, Ulfric the old mucker?
Sorry, I'm dying. Secondly, were you a tongue, you could just go to High Hrothgar for schooling. The monks are honour bound to take any worthy pupil.
Right, I was told they wouldn't let me. Oh, okay. Right. Cheers, old mate.
So, with that, I believe you're splitting into two parties. So I'll need to grab a speedy, terrible pixel thing. Looking Nordic monsters. It loads. And here we go, a perfect representation of Khajiit party. This pixel pig.
Haha.
We're off to see the wizard.
I was hoping for a Scrooge McDuck, but, you know.
I do not have a pixel Scrooge McDuck.
Fucking best, wouldn't it?
That I know of, actually, to be fair. I impulse buy just way too many packs on Roll20, so I might have one somewhere. Okay, so I believe we had the party consisting of Erik and Arnulf heading north, with Arnulf on young Nicholas' horse, and the rest of you heading east in the now somewhat ironically named Team Nicholas.
Other way around.
Oh,
we're going north, they're going east.
Yeah.
I see. Question, how are you doing the fur thing? Because you have been using the horse as your primary method of carry, and he's going east.
The horse?
So we know successfully getting though past the... Have we managed to get him out of the city yet, or is this pre-planned?
We're not giving him, like, all of the fur. We can just take one, fur cloak and kind of just cut it up a bit. He doesn't need to ride anything, he can just walk.
I think Ulfric even prefers to walk. Just because NPCs don't ride horses in Skyrim. Cool, yes. So you're just going to try and walk him out the city gates, then?
Yeah, I think that might be the best way to do it, to be honest.
At night.
Yeah, we'll do it at night, I suppose.
Yeah, the guards at the gate stop you initially, and are like, hey, what are you doing? You know, there's a curfew on, the fuck do you... Oh, you're taking the demon horse out of the city. Carry the fuck on, then. Don't feel free to come back. Sorry, West Country. Don't feel free to come back. You can just fuck off any time.
Ryan.
Young Nicholas' horse as it passes out. Ah, nay.
That's even more terrifying.
It's developing sentience.
There's also
Hey.
to say Winnie as well.
Yeah, Winnie. Yeah, Prub. Please, nostrils. Prub.
Clippity-clop?
No, he doesn't make feet noises. He makes mouth noises with his mouth, but verbally.
Oh, I was hoping it just narrates everything it did.
Just the entire nose twitches towards you. Nay.
I was going to say he's got two noses, but I suppose he doesn't, because one nose replaces t'other. So, your progress through Whiterun's outskirts is relatively painless. No parties come to attack you initially, and as you reach the eastern edge of the city's outskirts, you... Oh dear.
We all sneeze at the same time, alerting the guards, who then come rushing to us.
Stop, Imperial citizen. You've sneezed in a time of social distancing. Do the time or pay the fine. Oh, fuck.
Like what he said.
If you sneeze, you give us all 100 gold septims.
Says the guard, sneezing as well. Oh no. Now I have violated the Imperial law. Rips off his helmet. I'm becoming a bandit. Rushes off into the darkness.
So the gate's unguarded, sweet.
So, let me just review some notes real quick.
So I can grab something to drink on the way out.
Aren't you still sozzled from the wine?
Did we go straight from the pub to the to?
Oh, I suppose it was a little while. Yeah, so you can. There's a public well in the Plains district. You can absolutely get a drink. You're a bit hungover.
It's more alcohol. I want more alcohol.
Sure, you can nip back to the Bannered Mare and buy another pitcher of wine to drink on the go.
That was 2, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Have you just accepted that you'll never make the money to solve the problems that you've been having?
It's a darker reason, actually. Slowly throughout his time, Yuhnbric has discovered that never really been one for alcohol when he was back in the old days, I suppose. And the huge pit of despairing and loneliness from knowing that your race is extinct and has not been around for 3,000 odd years is somewhat dulled when he drinks.
That's not to mention the PTSD from killing Uncle Ursus.
Let's remember as well, it's been less than a month from your perspective. You still have very vivid memories of friends, faces, laughter, the sound of people's voices, and those are one by one, starting at the most distant, slowly working into people who you knew very well, gradually beginning to fade. Even the sound of your own tongue is foreign to your ears. And
my psyche is stretched like that of an incredibly broken slingshot. It's straining out, and the alcohol helps somewhat.
We'll also say that as you've been a bit drunk recently, you've noticed a couple more of those temporal anomalies, where everything seems to jitter for just a moment. Sometimes losing as much as an hour or two, though rarely at any point of particular importance. It started after you got back to Whiterun. In fact, after the Khajiit split off. Shortly thereafter.
I suppose I'm still noting this down in my book, trying to figure out some stuff.
Yeah, certainly. You've been looking for a pattern with the data that you can collect, and you're just getting nothing so far. As you pass outside the city walls, you note in the distance the sounds of a moose braying in pain, and the vague, distinct noise of flesh on flesh as someone punches something. Team Khajiit, in inverted commas, breaks with Team Nicholas, passing north towards the Pale. It actually really bothers me that many of these passes at minor mountain ranges don't have names.
What the fuck, Skyrim? This shit wouldn't fly in Westeros.
I kind of find it funny that, Ulfric Stormcloak is this incredibly wanted person, and he's had such trouble getting out of the city the last few weeks. And we had to do is slap some fur on him, and boom.
I don't think he'd be the one to actually do that himself, though. There's no way that he would unload the rest of the Khajiits.
It's not a story or anything like that. I just find it funny. I'm not being like you fucking
No.
I'm more just being like
Big asterisk on that one, Ollie. Big asterisk on that one.
okay.
So, you pass out towards dusk, and you've gone some way north. You're almost at the boundary of the Pale, when you see something off in the distance, off in the foothills to the west. It's a slight light from a campfire being suddenly shuttered out. What do?
So, too soon.
I'm confused on party positions at the moment.
So on the map we have the regular party is the party heading north towards the Pale. That is made up of Ulfric Stormcloak.
Ulfric Catcloak.
Ulfric? Sorry, yes. Alfiq Catcloak. Zanzarim Zahir. JoMo. Ra'virr and Yuhnbric. And then heading east, we have Erik, the Slayer, the Witness, the Stormcloak, and Arnulf Finson.
So I thought our plan was only to split while in the city.
We need to meet up at some... It's kind of hard to meet up close to the city, so we'll have to meet up slightly outside of it.
You're quite a ways outside of it at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Sorry,
if we're already far out of the
confused
city.
why you were only splitting up in the city.
Oh, I think we all thought it'd be harder to get out of the city. That's what I was following, right?
I'll be honest, I did think there was going to be a bit more than you wander around the city.
Yeah.
I'm just going to suggest that maybe you have all taken Ra'virr's word on where the enemy are positioned, especially given the single position you have of the enemy. You've given it maybe just a little bit too much credibility.
To be fair, it was described that it was seemingly a group of Khajiit and a Dunmer walking out of the city with a weird horse everyone wanted to fuck off. People wanted you gone. It wasn't the case that they want you to stick around.
I suppose.
I was under the impression that you're splitting up into two parties. You do not have to split up into two parties if you don't want to. In that case...
thought we were.
Well, after you get out of the city, basically. So you've hit the outskirts, you're about to split up then, we'll say. Or would have been about to split up. Are you sending one party north through the Pale and one party east through Eastmarch? Or are you not? And if you're not, which way is the party as a whole going?
In my mind, it was the party as a whole would be going through the Pale, but we'd need to split up sort of on the outskirts for a little bit at least, so that the distraction can do its thing. I don't know what the distraction's going to take the form of just yet.
Two people running around going, "I'm Ulfric Stormcloak!" shouting.
Yeah, shenanigans. I kind of assume that will be the case, and then sort of we get like a mile or two out.
If you shout, "I'm Ulfric Stormcloak" within the Whiterun city limits, and then also shout, you're just going to get arrested by the guards.
We do it when we were slightly out of the city limit.
Yeah, slightly out. Lead them on a merry chase.
Yeah, exactly.
Into the wilderness. Lead them astray, lose the tail, and then we'll meet up.
Head north to the Pale, yeah.
Whereas the party that actually contains Mr. Old Alfiq's Catcloak is walking away all merry. So should we try and meet up at the Pale then? Both of us?
Yeah, I assume that would be we sort of meet over here, so we'd have sort of our
the team shouty boys are just like this.
Cat's going that way, and then you're going this way. Oh yeah, someone else has done this, and then back out to the Pale.
I was kind of with you up until that final squiggle, honestly.
That entire squiggle crosses a mountain range.
It's quite the merry chase.
That's what we call in the business an ambitious squiggle.
It's the fact that it crosses it and then loops back on itself immediately. As squiggles go, that's such a fucking squiggle.
Would you like any rolls for the shouty boys part of the party to escape Whiterun?
Let's go over on the escaping Whiterun is not and never has been the main problem you're having.
Tell that to Ulfric.
Well, it's not even what Scream.
Right. We've decided the plan. We know what we're doing.
You have indeed. And the only issue, the main issue here is that you have misunderstood what Ulfric said, but to be fair, Ulfric has also totally misunderstood the plan as you have suggested it to him.
Just sit your ass down, Ulfric.
Yeah, no, exactly. He's placing a lot of trust in you. Like, what's the worst that happens is you fuck up and he dies. So, let's take a roll from Arnold for the distraction causing, shall we? I will take... Just having a look on your sheet for what you've got. Profession journalism. That's not how you read that word, Ewan.
Ah, yes. This is a far more sensible route.
What the even fuck have you done? Arnold.
Very tenacious guards.
I will take athletics over personality, please.
It's my new invention.
At a plus 20 as you have the voice accessible, and you can take a couple of points of fatigue.
20 as a bonus on top of my training in athletics?
On top of, yes.
Yay! Passed! I was aiming for 63, so that is a pass at 4 degrees.
Oh, yeah. You can only do first.
I'm Ulfric Storm. I can't do it. Just make my voice go mad. Oi, you lot! I'm Ulfric Stormcloak!
I mean, let's be strictly fair, I can't do it either.
Chances are I've never heard him anyway. Chances are I've never heard him anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Oi, I'm Ulfric Stormcloak! Fuck, mate? Oh, have you got proof?
Everyone...
False!
Yeah, everyone just knows that Ulfric has a very staid East March accent. They all sound like that.
It's like the idea of like this fake Ulfric being like, come and have a go if you think you're hard enough.
Also, I can shout.
All right,
come and have a go if you think you're hard enough.
What was that, like Northern Jamaican?
Yeah.
Come.
He's a talented man.
Come. Have a go if you think you're hard enough. It's that patented East March pause.
If you have the pause before hard enough, it turns it in an entirely different sentence.
They're famously difficult to understand. Tonally, they're all over the map. I'm going to have a bit of a time when we actually get to Windhelm trying to decide, do I carry on with this or not? Because
Ulfric's a posh boy, so he speaks with the proper Windhelm accent, and everyone else speaks not.
No, but because what if there are kids?
They speak with the same deep intonation.
They all have the same voice. Mama. It's not even the same accent, it's the same voice.
There's a 5-year-old girl who's there like...
I require a sweet roll from the...
like my teddy bear.
Market. Okay, so... You get outside the outskirts of Whiterun. The Khajiit half the party starts heading north, pretty much north and west, pretty much immediately, going around a slightly more circuitous route. Meanwhile, the distraction half of the party heads a little ways east and south, just for a while, and begin yelling at people, houses, throwing rocks at cows, generally causing distractions. And then, as guards begin to come to investigate, the first foos is uttered. And then, a little while later, A little while later, when he's got his breath back, a second foos. The guards of Whiterun are now in full-on panic. And many of them begin pelting out of the city straight towards you. It's also not long before you see a sudden flash from across the river. And then a swarm of Imperial soldiers, maybe 24, fording the Whiterun. Is it the Whiterun or the River White? I think it might just be the River White. Speedy double check. River White, Skyrim. It's not even the River White, it is the White River. Yes, fording the White River in their leather armour, bearing fairly scowly faces and rather sharp-looking weapons as they come careening towards you through the dark. Distraction team. To the left of you, you have maybe 12 Whiterun guards rushing to apprehend you. To the right of you, you have maybe 24 Imperial soldiers rushing to murder you. With you, you have 1 NPC horse and 1 NPC Erik the Slayer, the Witness, the Stormcloak. What do Arnulf?
Right, Erik. Now, I know it seems like a good idea to try and fight these ones off, but I'm going to say to you now, it's far better to live another day so you can hire a bard. So, follow me, young son.
Wouldn't it make more sense for you to follow me? I have the fast animal. Yeah.
Just running.
Where are you running?
So, to the guards to the left of us, guards to the right, and here I am, stuck with Erik the Slayer.
Well, technically trained professional killers to the right, but yeah.
So.
And for what it's worth, south is uphill.
I'm a strong lad. Also, what about to the north, sorry?
To the north is technically downhill, but the land is somewhat rugged. Considering your positioning, the only major landmark to the north of you, which is at least artificial, is a rather run-down-looking cider brewery. Shout out to Callum there.
He's still making cider to this day.
To this very day. Yes, to the north it's hills, rolling hills, the steep banks of the White River, and small copses of trees. But it's pretty much open kill grounds for miles and miles and miles and miles and miles and miles and miles.
And miles and miles and miles.
Do you want an athletics roll for this?
Yeah, well, so what are you trying to do?
Well, you said to the south was uphill, but also clear, so...
It's a bit clearer, yes, and you will eventually reach, Riverwoods forests, which are much easier to hide in.
Basically, we're heading to the south to the forest to lose the pursuers, and then head across to the east to get across to meet back up in the Pale, so we're looping round.
Okay. I'll take...
In fact, no, we won't. We'll loop round to Riverwood, then we'll head west, because they'd expect us to go east.
God, there's a movie reference in here somewhere, and I can't think of what it is. So I will take 2 rolls then. I will take an athletics over endurance roll at a -10 for the... not including your athletics bonus, for the sort of trying to outpace the soldiers, and then also probably something to command...
2 degrees.
Nice. And then also something for commanding Erik, because his bloodlust is pretty high. I'll take... Do we have a command skill or equivalent? We do.
Command skill, yes.
I will take command...
I am untrained in it, though, so could I use...
Who could you use?
Can I use combat style to show off and be flashy as I'm running? Twirling my axe around as I go.
No, that's... So I under other circumstances, maybe. I am going to give you a +10 because Erik respects you and he's dumb. But that'll be a command over personality check, please.
It's a personality check, then. Okay. Okay, I'm going to luck roll that. That's still a fail. 2 degrees. So Erik might be about to die.
Skyrim belongs to the Nords.
Oh,
says
Christ.
Erik, kicking Nicholas the horse into gear and charging directly. You know what? Someone want to give me a scatter diagram for Erik?
Oh, I'll do that.
So we'll do 1 is at 12 o'clock, and then 2 is at northeast, etc., etc., etc.
Roll a d12.
D8, sorry.
1d12?
A D8, please. Just do
Just roll a d12.
D8, so 1, 2. So Erik begins charging due northeast, straight towards the river, but not directly towards any of Skyrim's enemies, or indeed overlords or citizens.
Oh, Christ.
Young Nicholas is going to slort back in.
This is what I mean, is I can't abandon young Nicholas's cat. I'm going to go after him.
No, it's entirely fair. Come
back, you young bastard!
Young Nicholas is not getting slorped into a terrible situation without information or consent. He will have the chance to veto it, and Erik will just have had a stolen horse or something.
Well, I'll still go after him, because it is currently the Dio horse.
Are you sure you would like to go after him?
It will need more checks, but yes, I will go after him.
Remember, Ewan's sentence of "Are you sure?" is "I may be about to kill you."
I am not about to kill anyone. I have done my best to steer people away from.
Well, no, this is more risky, but it may lead to death.
Well, he's charging towards a steep cliff edge, beyond which is the fastest.
You didn't say that bit.
Yeah, you didn't say.
I did say the steep banks of the White River earlier in the terrain.
There's a difference between a steep bank and a fucking cliff.
I don't know when you last replayed Skyrim, but
I don't know when you last saw a river.
The banks of the White River are significantly more lethal in terms of fall damage half the time than the bloody mountains are. At least the mountains have an incline. And then the White River itself is one of the fastest flowing rivers in Skyrim.
Right, okay, can I see that he's galloping towards a cliff?
Not especially. You know he's galloping towards a cliff, because you can hear him going in that direction, but it's at night.
We've told him the plan and the meetup place, right?
Yes, theoretically he knows where to go.
Feck him, boy can look for himself, I'm off.
I just didn't want to see you charge over a cliff and then do a surprise Pikachu face, you know? Not without warning.
It was the fact that it was a cliff.
Well,
Pace, let's get this finished.
And so, sticking to the plan, or a plan at least, Arnulf begins charging due south, directly towards the trees of Riverwood, hoping to outpace the fighting behind him. You can hear battle-joined Arnulf, as the Whiterun guards confusedly begin fighting the Imperial soldiers, who mistake them for Stormcloaks in the dark. Screams and the sounds of tearing flesh echo through the night. And in the distance, 2 almost simultaneous screams. One, an equine whinny, the other a disturbingly human, also whinny. Plummeting, down, 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 followed by the most distant sploosh.
Shouldn't be laughing.
Thing with the rest of the party.
Though you are hounded for some time by a small detachment of Imperial soldiers, which follow you south as their comrades dispatch the Whiterun guards. You manage to lose them after maybe 2-3 hours, rushing through the thickets of northern Riverwood. Just going to move your little boar icon down there. It's an exhausting, heavy trek. If you'd like to add another fatigue point, I guess, or subtract one, whatever the metric is. Yes, an exhausting, heavy trek. You find yourself
thoroughly tired by the end of it. But you have just about managed to lose your pursuers. You have only whatever you had on your back, and have technically taken 66% casualties, though at the very least it was the most expendable 66%, namely the bit that wasn't you. And who knows? Horses are good swimmers, and Erik probably floats. Meanwhile, the core party. You've not been travelling north for longer than a half hour when you hear the distant is of Arnulf echoing from the valley below. Valley below? The valley's behind. Shortly after that, shouts, screams, the human whinnying of Nicholas the horse. And as you head north and north and north, you see something slightly worrying in the distance.
Like that?
It's just bikes.
Something like the compactor.
No, it's the biker mice from Mars is what you see in the distance. Yeah,
Coming from Oblivion.
Plot twist. They're here, and this is now a Shivering Isles game. So yes, no, you see a campfire glinting for a moment before it's snuffed out, and distant shadows moving betwixt the trees in the pass northwards. And I think that's probably a good place to leave it for the week. Cool. Reminders, is there anything anyone wants noted for that session, or next session?
Party is split. Ulfric is catified.
So like pacified, but with more whiskers.
Ulfric owes the party 1,000 septims.
Only if you live and he sees you shout.
Yeah, well, okay, slight caveat on that, but when I live and
we can make a note.
Ulfric owes me 1,000 septims.
Erik drove Nicholas the horse into the White River. Ulfric bet Arnulf 1,000 septims that he can't shout. Anything else?
I don't think of anything.
No, that seems to be it.
I can think of a couple of points there, I think at least. White Run. That's not how you spell White Run. White Run. Guards started fighting Imperial soldiers outside town. And Team Ulfric party moving north and just spotted shadows in the dark far up ahead. Anyone else got anything else?
No.
Cool. Feedback. Anything you liked, anything you disliked, anything you'd like to see more of or less of next time?
I think we're pretty good in pace this time. People calling it at the right time. I liked it.
Definitely. I appreciated we had a lot of paces from all points, and they were pretty much always merited. Any other points of feedback?
I think one thing I would like to see more of would be rolling, to be honest, and skill checks. I think we do leave... I know that we're, especially with combat, we're trying to avoid going the full in-depth route, but I feel like we're straying a little bit too towards narrative and sort of giving a bit too much leeway to it.
You've still got PTSD from Rogue Trader.
Yeah, the majority of the party didn't roll anything this session.
That's very true. I guess partially that's because it felt like it was a bit of a mercantile session in Whiterun at the start, and then later on, I definitely could have stood to do more rolls in the escape sequence intro, but we did have the confusion to clear up there. But valid feedback and noted for next time. I will try and make things a little bit roll heavier at least.
Yeah, I did somehow end up completely under the impression that escaping the town was the primary objective of our escape plan.
Yeah, I'll be honest with the escape plan. Even from the beginning when I proposed it, I expected a bit more resistance from every party involved, and then when we got into okay, we'll go for it, and then it just worked. I didn't expect that at all. So
I don't think any of us did.
I was kind of expecting a significantly more resistance to go on there.
Yeah, that was like a double mistake there, right? Because I thought I made it clear that the issue wasn't getting out of the city. It was when you got out of the city and then you started running into like Imperial encampments in the surrounding terrain. But evidently that wasn't at all clear. And you thought you'd made it clear that you were expecting to have trouble getting out of the city, but I completely mistook that for a plan that involved when you were outside of the city.
Yeah, I could see that. It's one of those things where it's recognizable location gives more of a narrative focus, I think.
I would just like to point out that I thought it was pretty clear when you mentioned that all of the passes outside of Whiterun were heavily guarded by Imperial forces was kind of in the face.
Well, I assumed the plan we made was to get out of the city and then we'd figure out a new plan. Was what I was thinking.
I think that was kind of my idea as well, is that we get to the point where we are about a mile out of the city each, and then we'd figure something out from that point onwards.
I guess, to an extent, I'm probably letting like my meta thought get a little bit ahead of me here, because you've already wiped out like one Imperial encampment who was religiously observing the entrance to the city. So I think I was thinking that you'd connected more dots there than you actually had, and I should have figured out that you hadn't and breadcrumbed that harder, or even explicitly stated it, really. So that's at least partially on me. But, mistakes were made, and that happens. It's not the end of the world, unless you're Erik, who might have died. Or you might find him Aragorning his way down the river later. Who knows? We'll probably see what is more funny, honestly.
Yeah, that's fair. And yeah, I don't think it was down to any one element. I think it was just sort of collectively having different ideas on how this was actually going to play out.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And like a missed sentence here and there can cause absolute devastation to comprehension. Like, as Carl clearly knew what was happening, but if that roboted, or like you were getting served a bit of tea at the time, or just like thoughts wandered for an instant, because I know I sometimes phase out when people are talking about things and I'm trying to like read a rule and figure out the fuck I'm supposed to be doing, and then come back in with oh yes, no, we're doing this, are we? Well, let's carry on then. Fun times. Cool. Well, we'll all get better on that next time. Any other feedback? Nope. Sweat. Narrative questions. Is there anything, and I vaguely assumed there was, that anyone was narratively unsure of in this session?
Oh, more of a reminder, probably, actually, but could someone bring up the cart as part of the plan to Ulfric or something? Oh, I need to get this cart secured, and I can't talk. And no one brings up the cart anymore.
We do need to kind of get focused on the cart a bit more.
Ulfric. I actually have a modest plan on that front, so that's thankfully going to work out pretty well. Just to
also,
slightly
just throw it out there to Team Khajiit. I'm pretty sure if we brought Ulfric's head over to that city, they'd probably give us our cart back.
They'd probably give you a damn...
Option B for Team Khajiit.
They'd probably give you a damn sight more than the cart. Ulfric is literally Imperial public enemy number 1 at the moment.
Can't lie, the thought did kind of cross my mind. Because one of the reasons why I was trying to figure out the goddamn potion rules is to make a quote-unquote invisibility potion that, not so invisible, or dead.
Ulfric was quite okay with being dressed up as a Khajiit.
Well, he was kind of stuck. He'd been stuck in Whiterun for the longest time, like, completely unable to move out of that house lest people snitch him out, including any Imperial loyalist and any Whiterun loyalist, and pretty much anyone who wasn't the immediate Greymane family. And the second he gets outside the city walls, he's distinctive enough that he'd likely be spotted by any number of Imperial camps scattered around Whiterun illegally.
So, For the record, I can chameleon him as well.
That's also pretty
But you
good.
can't.
Eh?
Chameleon and invisibility only affect the caster.
Which one do I have? I'm sure my one was the target other.
Can you do chameleon on touch? So he turns invisible, but you have to have someone who's vaguely walking around and touching the air.
Just pop
The
Zanzarim
entire
on top of Ulfric Stormcloak's head. Just have him walk around that way.
Ah, yes.
I am Ulfric Stormcloak, the true king of Skyrim. Meow.
So, for chameleon,
Any other narrative questions?
That's my rope.
Where is your rope? Good question. I'll tell you where it is. Back at Greymane Manor, sadly.
We're going back.
get that rope.
That lovely silken rope.
Ilara's going on the tab.
Yeah, why not? I've got the 10% interest noted.
The way it's compound interest.
Okay, well, we'll see how that goes.
Fine, I got a windfall of 1,000 septims coming. It's fine, I'll pay it off.
All the
I
you
feel
need to do is get you lost in the Pale for a couple of weeks.
Oh yeah, side point or question. Like, do we keep repeatedly paying the inn owner for a night's worth of rooms that we never end up spending the night in?
Oh, yeah.
You can, to be fair, assume that you actually spent the night that day, because when you went to Ulfric's house the next day, not Ulfric's house, the house Ulfric's staying in the next day, you the Dunmer wasn't drunk or anything, and you had a night to rest.
Okay, so we count that as a proper rest then.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
we never caught up
absolutely.
with the companions.
That can. Sorry?
We never caught up with the companions.
No, probably should have set a reminder last time.
It's fine. We can always go back to Whiterun to get it to pick it up. It's fine.
They're probably quite glad to be rid of you, to be honest. It's going to mark you down as a failure.
You, Ulfric Stormcloak imposter, run back into the city and pick up our quest.
Blub, blub, blub. No. Fuck, what was I going to say? No.
We know we were good enough for them. That's all.
I forgot to pick up my shopping.
Design. Ulfric shopping cloak. What the fuck is wrong with me? I can't do that voice
Ulfric
at all.
chest cloak.
Ulfric. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, I'm so mad at you right now. Cool. Any other narrative questions?
Nope.
Fantastic. Not that it isn't totally valid to have narrative questions, especially when we've had confusion in the session. Okay, let's do some XP. Wait, why do I not have XP noted down for session number 10? Did we skip session number 10 for XP? Oh no, I've got 2 session 6s. There we go. That was worrying. It was 175 last time. Plot progression. Does anyone feel like you all made any plot progression this session? And if so, what?
I feel like getting Ulfric Stormcloak or, good old Catcloak out, I think it was pretty good plot progression.
I love it if he just turns around after doing all of this and was like, oh hell no, I'm not ready to storm Solitude. Like that's a fucking fortress. We gotta start small.
Cheers, bro.
Solitude is actually by far and away the most defendable fortress in Skyrim, as I recall. The only thing that even vaguely competed with it was Winterhold before it fell into the sea. Oh, Markarth actually is supposed to be harder to...
Oh yeah, Markarth would be.
Yeah, but that's because Markarth is, worth bugger all, so the infrastructure of the area is fucked. It's well, no, that's not strictly speaking true. It has amazing mines, but, that's
was still taken quite easily by Ulfric, though.
It wasn't taken quite easily by Ulfric. Ulfric sneak attacked them with an army of fanatics and then butchered the largely peaceful and underprepared defenders on the basis that they were clearly savages. And not only was it not peaceful, but it totally radicalized the entire local population against Ulfric. And the whole...
I give a shit about getting the cart back.
No,
therefore, he can shout the walls down. Therefore,
no, but the point is, like, Ulfric effectively sucker punched Markarth when they weren't prepared for it, and he sucker punched them so hard they formed this critical insurgency, which to date has successfully been a thorn in the side of literally anyone else who's had to do anything in the Reach. Yeah, he like revived centuries-old blood feuds. He really fucked it up massively. Also fucked people up on the walls, but that's how he fucked shit up. You can't easily fuck up Solitude. It has Castle Dower, which is the main Imperial garrison, and it is by itself already a ludicrously formidable formidable citadel. There's it's the Wolf Queen of Solitude was basically one of the biggest necromancers in the setting and successfully held Solitude for, it's like 10 years, I want to say, is the siege?
Yeah, something like that.
Using mostly only the dead generated from the Siege of Solitude. It's like what if Great Pike from Westeros was actually less crap than it is.
Produce, reuse, recycle, rock. Necromancer covers all of those.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Cool, so... I'll say that's at least partial progression. It's not a huge amount, but, like, it's something. Character development. Sorry?
Pike is actually fairly easy to attack. You're thinking of either Storm's End or...
No, that's what I'm saying.
Like Canaan.
Imagine if Pike was difficult to attack. It's that setup. Because Pike is quite easy, but what if Pike's defense, like, weird remote island structure actually worked for...
Where?
Yeah, that's pretty fair. Character development. Does anyone feel like they developed their characters this session? Did you just call pace by saying where?
Yes.
Alright. Fair, but I feel dirty. Yes, character development.
I actually did merchant things for a change, like what my character was built for.
To be fair, you have been trying to get that alchemy kit for, at this point, 11 sessions. So, valid.
Old Uncle is becoming an alcoholic.
That's also very true.
Layers of PTSD.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Nope.
Erik?
Erik is an NPC.
I like your Moxie.
Ollie, you keep saying and it's do you have something?
By the way, I'm not doing it intentionally.
I fucking hate you so much, Ollie. Okay, that sounds like a no from Ollie then.
I was going to say Ra'virr. I don't know, the interaction he had with Ulfric Stormcloak. I don't know if it made him more naughty, but it seemed like an important character. What's the word? Like an important character interaction.
I think that is pretty valid, and I'm surprised that Ra'virr didn't bring it up himself.
I don't want to sort of bring up myself with these things.
It's totally fair to bring up yourself for character development. That's why we have, like, the separation, partially, for character development versus roleplay.
Although on the note of roleplay, you could hear Ra'virr's boner in his voice.
I don't know, it was kind of like childlike glee, I would say. I don't think that was very sexually charged. Cool. So, Ra'virr interacting with Ulfric Stormcloak. Cool. Excellence of roleplay. Does anyone feel like anyone roleplayed particularly well? Anyone else roleplayed particularly well this session?
Good old Ra'virr meeting Ulfric.
I mean, again, I like
Ra'virr's childlike glee.
Good.
Meeting.
We'll go with the word glee.
Consistent with the constant build-up as well, as he's always been pro-Stormcloak, going on about him.
Gradually radicalizing in a desperate attempt to justify himself. Anything else? Or anyone else? Sorry, were you saying something, Ollie?
Big Daddy Ulfric.
Yeah, Big Daddy Ulfric.
No. Can't think of anything else particularly.
Okay. Cool. If that's only one, that's only going to be partial for your roleplay then. In that case, that's really only one nomination.
Right, I make that out to be a slightly down on the average, 150 experience points for Seppen. That's not how you spell that word, Ewan. For session number 11. 10 points for plot progression, Ulfric being smuggled out of the town, partial. 30 points for character development. JoMo finally merchanted/bought that alchemy set. Yuhnbric is working on his alcoholism. And Ra'virr is interacting with Ulfric Stormcloak. Plus 10 points for excellence of roleplay, which I did not write down. That's Ra'virr's childlike glee when meeting Ulfric, plus your standard 100 general. I didn't almost knock over the margarita.
Give me Margie.
It's not a good margarita, Carl. It's pretty much just petrol. And it's also like 4 days old mix at this point.
Up until about 4 days old, it was still game.
I mean, it's still workable now. If it was like 5 days, I probably wouldn't drink it. But, you know.
Past that point, it just continues to ferment.
I can see it fermenting in the glass as I'm looking at it, and that cannot be healthy. I gave it a bit of fizz. I gave it a shake before I poured it. Anywho, it's time for everyone's favourite part of the session. It's the highlights. And let's do Ollie this time. Ollie, do you have any highlights for that session?
I have two that I've written down. First one was Ra'virr coming up, giddy as anything, in front of the shopkeeper going, "Now don't go telling anyone."
They're almost rats.
And he was, it just tickled me.
Ra'virr almost rats out Ulfric Stormcloak to literally the first NPC he meets.
Oh, he's just fangirling.
Anything else?
And
wait, speedy check. Is Ra'virr a girl?
So at one point,
Sorry, just speedy check. Is Ra'virr a girl? Because I've been like male gendering you the whole time.
No, Ra'virr's a guy.
Oh, okay.
But he can still fangirl. Or fan guy.
Fan boy.
Fan boy?
Yeah, there you go. As they say in Quebec. Sorry, Ollie, your second highlight.
And the second one was,
Your internet's cutting out rather heavily for me.
Oh no.
Who's Carl, is it JoMo? JoMo.
Yeah,
the funny spit noise, very, very like in one of the sentences. I didn't really write it down very well, and I'm so tired.
I don't recall JoMo doing a funny spit noise at all, I'm afraid.
It was kind of a very offhand moment. It just the entire interaction.
It was talking shit about Kashyyyk during our planning thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it was just like that. There was that spit and just the interaction.
Right. JoMo makes a funny spit noise. Cool. All right, no, it's you know what? It's important to you, and that's the important thing. Far be it from us to judge. Any other highlights? Ollie, funny spit noise.
No.
Wally, ding dong. No, all right.
Cool, me.
Cool. Callum, do you have any highlights for that session?
This ain't no house of fuck.
God damn it!
Yeah, I had that down.
Just reminds me of that scene from Rome with the woman from Come Outside in it.
What I'm not getting out of bed until I fuck something.
No, that's James Purefoy. No, the scene where Pullo takes Octavian off to become a man, and the madam of the house is the woman from Come Outside, and it's the most like. Am I the only one who watched Come Outside?
Yeah,
I've never heard of it.
I remember Come Outside.
It was the woman with the spotty plane.
Yeah.
Oh, that.
Yeah. That woman is in Rome, and she's the madam of the whorehouse, and she just goes around the whole time saying stuff like, "This ain't no infantry, fuckhole." It's like, no, you were Come Outside with Pip in the dog.
It's always super weird when actors like whenever I see one of the lads from the League of Gentlemen turn up in Game of Thrones, I'm just what. No, I want to take you seriously, mate, but I've seen you do awful things to pigs, and I just can't. Cool. Any other highlights, Callum?
Top and tailing Ra'virr and Yuhnbric.
Top and tailing
He's still alive.
Ra'virr and Yuhnbric. So most of the cast of a lower low. Anything else?
I feel like I had a couple more, but nothing comes to mind.
That's fine. I mean, we've got time to remember them. We'll wait. No. Cool. Benji, do you have any highlights for that session?
Erik demands a lance.
I'm so incredibly surprised Erik got the lance, if I'm honest.
I'm really happy.
I'm happy too. It's just like you were sleeping in the shittiest rooms possible without sleeping in the literal pigsty because you wanted to save 3 gold apiece. Yet when Erik demands he be given a lance instead of a quarterstaff, everyone was like, "All right,
that we had no money.
let me just take out this high interest loan real quick."
He's a useful patsy. As it turns out, not that useful, but he was useful for a bit.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Slots back in.
Ulfric Stormcloak rode off a cliff and he hurt himself in his confusion.
Erik cosplays Dr. Claw.
Oh, that's very fair. Anything else?
Something, I can't think of it, so go for the next one.
I personally was having a really great time with Eric's journey to find the masculine warrior voice that suits him and his perception of what a Nord should sound like. As someone whose natural voice is "Hello, my lover," and eventual given voice before his tragic death was "Hello, my lover." Beautiful boy.
I'll get you, Gadget.
I'll get you next time, Stormcloak.
I can't do it.
All right.
I feel like
Sorry.
we need more gravelly voices to kill your voice.
Well, I mean, I can make all the Dunmer sound like that if you like. That one doesn't hurt too much, because that's like right at the back of the throat. That's fine.
Stop.
Ah, excellent. We are going to Windhelm, by the way.
Scum.
Oh, yeah,
we've
got the Grey
so
Quarter.
We're going to get both. We're going to get the East March accent and the Dunmer.
Hello. Dunmer friend, would you like to buy a fish?
No, I am full of fish.
Quality Bethesda dialogue. Sorry.
And he's in a fucking place where the guy wanders around going, "Have you been to the Cloud District?"
Have you been to the Cloud District lately? No, I don't suppose you go there often. Catch it.
Oh dear. Okay. Right, my life. Carl, do you have any... Sorry, Kral, do you have any highlights of that session? No, the other way. Carl. Brain.
Mentioned.
Sorry?
They've been mentioned.
Oh, cool. Creed, do you have any highlights for that session?
Minor taking as well, actually.
Oh, rip. Did we do Ollie? Yeah, we did. In that case, does anyone else have any highlights for that session?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to be a little bit masturbatory and put down that I really enjoyed having Erik name his lance after Old Uncle Ursus.
Oh, the Nativity!
Oh yeah, what else?
Erik stars in the 9 Divines, in fact.
9, I'll have you know.
The 9 Divines Nativity. That's so stupid.
I did think of another one.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, there's no room in the Nativity.
One, but I can't word it in a way for a highlight.
Erik we asked Erik to name one art, and he named 2, and we set the bar too low.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, but I couldn't find it.
To be fair, you asked him to name 1, he named 1. You asked him to name a second one, he named a second one.
That's on us, we set the bar too low.
Erik is a qualified artist, question mark. Sorry, did someone else say they had an extra highlight there?
Me.
Oh no, I was just saying that same instance, but I couldn't find a good way to word it.
Fair. Cool. I
feel like I'm missing something. Oh, Erik immediately rise to his death.
Right,
How Nick schlorps back in at that one. So you're at the bottom of a ravine. You got 3 broken legs. What do you want to do?
He will get a choice whether he wants to schlorp back in where Nicholas the horse ended, or if he wants to schlorp back in with one of the parties. Basically the same deal you had, Carl, where it'll be like, hey, you can do this if you like, and we'll give you a cool narrative thing, but you don't have to because you had no agency, and I don't want to just put you back in a shit situation.
I thought the 3 broken legs would have been taken for a joke.
I'm real dumb.
Like that time you spawned me inside that dinosaur mouth, Ewan.
Yeah, but I don't like you, whereas I'm quite affectionate for you, Nicholas. As you can tell by the fact that I named that horrifying horse after. I'm sorry, your internet's just way. Your internet is just way too bad for me to show sympathy, Ollie. Cool. Okay. And that brings us to a neat ending of session number 11. 9 left on the clock, max.
We can do it.
On that note, guys,
Tension.
so this campaign...
Sorry, you're cutting out a lot, Ollie.
Yeah, so are we gone to the School of Shatner now?
Yeah, you're doing chat. You know what, Ollie? Take it to the text chat afterwards, so I want to cut the recording off. Any final words for the recording, which, and I'm sad to say, aren't from Ollie, because it's just going to come out as a half-stretched syllable.
This ain't no how the fuck.